You know the average age of a farmer in the United States?
Nah.
65. What, the average life expectancy in the country is 70, but everybody still has to eat. So who's the land gonna go to? A lot of their children don't want to farm anymore.
Yeah.
And if they don't solve that problem, okay, nobody eats.
Yep, and we all die.
No one man can rise above the condition of his people. So if you got it, but your people don't have it, you don't have it.
If you diversify this right, and if you grow the right way, and you do compatibility growing, you can feed the whole St. Louis off 10.
Because I started on my porch on the west side of Chicago in 2 buckets. In 2 buckets, man. I had a pepper plant and a tomato plant. I'm telling you, once you make up in your mind that you decide to do that, God will move every single obstacle in your path to make sure that you and your family can eat. The greatest brainwashing was to turn us away from the land. Because when we turn away from the land, we're turning away from our ability to be independent. The stereotype that we get from melons came from the fact that out of sharecropping, black farmers were growing watermelons to get out of the debt, to pay their debt and eventually buy their own land. Everywhere that you look at land, you're looking at a potential business opportunity. That's why these countries, they go to war to take people's land. That's right. They want territory, they want to expand, they want that earth because they know what can be produced from it. For us in Chicago, any major city you in, there are urban farms popping up every year. That's right. So you don't have to see this and say, man, I'm a long way away. You can start small and work your way. First get the skills and then get the land, because business is warfare. So if we're at business and we're at war with one another, you know, and you're selling a certain thing that I'm selling, that could be taking food out of my family's mouth. History tells you that famines, they call them nation breakers. Food is the strongest urge that we have as a human being. The one thing that everybody in your economic system is going to do is eat. Without producing your own food, it's like trying to fill up a bucket with a hole in the bucket. They paint this image as if the people on food stamps are lazy, they don't want to work. Like, you got single mothers with children that work every single day, and she's working, she's grinding, she's putting in the time, but she doesn't necessarily make enough. Vacant lots, man, and we start growing and producing on these lots. I mean, when it's time to eat, you could pull the grill up right in front of the lot, start pulling out the things that we would need to be able to cook the food and just do it right there, have a block party. Get land and be productive on the land.
Absolutely.
And that's how you build real wealth. Many of the families that preserve their wealth, what do? They buy land. Put a seed in the ground, learn how to grow your own food.
Look! This is the eye of the trenches!
Sweet, sweetest watermelon I ever had in my life.
And that's the max size. Is that,
it get a little bit bigger than that.
So you say you'll never see this watermelon again?
What?
This one?
No, I think I'm the only one in Missouri with this.
Wow.
It started with a K, I can't think of the name of it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
It almost
6.
like the outer shell making it look like a cantaloupe.
Yeah, but it's straight a watermelon though. Yep.
Yeah, there's so many different varieties.
It's over 1,200 though.
Yeah,
Over
yeah.
1,200.
Well, 1,200 varieties of watermelon?
Yeah, all the plants got so many different varieties, man.
Wow.
You never see. You go to the grocery store and think there's only 1 or 2 different varieties. When you start planting seeds, you see just how many hundreds and thousands of varieties of fruits that there are. You know? And certain varieties grow better in certain climates. So we can, you know, in the Midwest, a lot of people think, you know, peaches. You think Georgia. We can grow peaches up here. We can grow cherries up here. We can grow plums, apples, all that.
I grow thousands of peaches, apples, them apple trees, man. Apricots, all of that, man.
Yeah.
But my thing is trying to perfect the melon family, because the melons is my favorite. Other than apples, the melons is my favorite fruit. So I'm really trying, and then zucchini is a melon too. All this is a part of the melon family.
Wow.
But yeah, them some of the oldest watermelons that I know that's out here. Look at the beautiful butterfly.
And financially too, our people eat melon.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably one of the best ones you could grow. Business-wise, for sure.
Would y'all like to speak on how they tried to take us away from watermelons and everything, like selling them and everything back in the day?
So the stereotype that we get from melons came from the fact that out of sharecropping, black farmers were growing watermelons to get out of the debt, to pay their debt and eventually buy their own land. So you see, even today in the major cities, you'll see black farmers, they put watermelons in the back, and they'll drive it into the city and begin selling melons. White farmers didn't like that they were getting out of debt and buying land, so the stereotype of the black watermelon eater came back
and
to try to...
Now what they're doing is they taxing them, and they getting them off the cities, ain't they? We see them used to set up out here.
Yeah.
So I'm telling them now, if you in St. Louis, you can use my lot. Come to my lot, you can set up and sell your stuff, because They've been giving them tickets and keeping them from selling the watermelon.
Right. That's right. Wow.
Wow.
Man,
What's that right there, brother? Look at it before you call it out.
This here, let's see. It's growing up. It's a vine.
Come on.
So when it growing up like a vine,
Come on.
but the leaves almost look like, but I could tell from the structure of the plant, it doesn't seem like it's something
Look
that
at the
grows
shape.
real heavy.
Look at the shape of the leaf.
Yeah.
The shape of the leaf looked the same way if it was real big.
Reminds me of a berry. Almost. Not a berry?
Well, it's a part of the berry family, but you wouldn't think it's a berry. But it is a part of the berry family. And I'm glad you just said that because it's actually a part of the berry family.
Look at the leaves. That's tough to tell. Let's see.
I like this for belief, Joe. I ain't
I
gonna
like
lie, I
all
ain't
of
gonna lie.
this.
I like this for him, Joe.
Part of the berry family.
But a lot of people wouldn't even consider it a berry.
Wouldn't consider it a berry. Blackberry.
Think about it. It's a part of the berry family, but a lot of people wouldn't consider it a berry.
It's like a trick question, a riddle.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
This sunlight is good for my hair, too.
I could tell from the leaves, but difficult to know for sure.
Heirloom grape.
Heirloom grape.
Heirloom grape.
So
I can
when
see
you
it.
pull it out, they're gonna be under there?
No, they're going to grow from it.
They're gonna
But
grow
it's
from
going
it.
to take another year or two to start producing. Important.
How many people you can feed off 10?
10 acres. I mean, I'm not even growing on a half an acre.
We
I'm growing on.
acres, so we can
I'm
feed
growing
about
on. We're growing on 2,000 square feet.
Yeah.
That's 2,000 square feet that we're growing on.
We can feed 1,000 people.
So off this 10 acres, you could feed how many people you think roughly?
Off this 10 acres, you can feed, off of 10 acres alone, if we did it right and we diversified and we did real permaculture, you could feed the whole St. Louis. Off of 10 acres.
Off 10 acres?
Am I lying? If you diversify this right, and if you grow the right way and you do compatibility growing, you can feed the whole St. Louis off 10 acres.
That's crazy.
Now think about that. Lets you know, man. Look, we ain't out of food.
At all.
We out of knowledge. We out of knowledge.
Yep.
You say that one more time.
We
They
not
got
out of food. We out of knowledge.
Wow.
And I'll show you this as an example. Will Allen, he was in Milwaukee. He was farming in the city of Milwaukee on 3 acres. But when I'm telling you, he put these 3 acres into production. He was growing vertically. He had aquaculture going on. He was growing fish. He was growing produce. Plenty of things. Everything that he was growing there. And he was feeding. People would drive from all over the city of Milwaukee to this 3 acres and buy their produce from him. So when you activate it, like you said, yeah, you can feed the city.
If you plan,
You
if
can
you
feed
like,
the city.
if you literally
You
plan
activate it.
and you mix in everything, and that's the reason why agriculture is bad, horticulture is bad, permaculture is a good thing, and electroculture is a good thing. You got to set it up for where it grows its own.
You know the average age of a farmer in the United States?
Nah.
65. What, the average life expectancy in the country is 70, but everybody still has to eat. So who's the land gonna go to? A lot of their children don't want to farm anymore.
Yeah.
And if they don't solve that problem, okay, nobody eats.
Yep, and we all die.
No one man can rise above the condition of his people. So if you got it, but your people don't have it, you don't have it. Well, man, look, so I was actually raised by a single dad. Single dad, man. My mom passed away when I was really young in a car accident. Now, because I started on my porch on the west side of Chicago in 2 buckets. In 2 buckets, man. I had a pepper plant and a tomato plant. I'm telling you, once you make up in your mind that you decide to do that, God will move every single obstacle in your path to make sure that you and your family can eat. The food that's in our communities is not the healthiest food for us. High fructose corn syrup is what they use in a lot of these fast food places, sugary drinks, junk food. They'll take that same corn that you couldn't eat when it was in its raw form, process it, turn it into oil, and now we cooking chicken in it. One, we can save ourselves just by a greater knowledge of where the food is coming from, what we should eat, what we shouldn't eat. But then number 2, if we just make it easier to get better food. Like these vacant lots, man, and we start growing and producing on these lots. I mean, when it's time to eat, you could pull the grill up right in front of the lot, start pulling out the things that we would need to be able to cook the food and just do it right there, have a block party. Get land and be productive on the land.
Absolutely.
And that's how you build real wealth. Okay? Mark Zuckerberg makes his billions of dollars. What does he do with it? He buys land. You know, many of the families that preserve their wealth, what do? They buy land. Put a seed in the ground, learn how to grow your own food. You can do it. In our lessons, we learn who's the original man. The original man is the maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. I'm making things with the things that God created. I have all the knowledge in the world about every single plant, but until you put that seed in the ground, until you water it, until you take care of it, until it's time to harvest, and then get off your backside and actually harvest it before it goes bad, there's no benefit. You have a direct connection to God through this. Shooting with the eye of the trenches.
Look! This is the eye of the trenches.
Where we at, family?
We at Torchlight Farms.
Yes, sir. Who I got with me?
Man, your brother, Malik and Katha. Your brother, you know, I'm a farmer. You know, member of the Unity Movement, FOI. And we're going to learn a little bit about agriculture today.
Yes,
sir.
God willing. So take us through here.
Okay, so, well, first things first. This land here, when me and my wife bought it, you know, this whole backyard used to flood. You know, I was really excited to learn about growing, and I didn't know what I was doing. So we bought the land, we was just fired up, really excited, and bought it in the winter. And when all the snow melted and the spring came, this whole thing was just like water, pretty much up to your ankle.
Wow.
Water up to your ankle. So I called my mentor, figured out like how can I remediate the land and make it better, and he actually told me to put down 24 inches of wood chip. So I get wood chip dropped off in the driveway. The truck will back up, drop it off. And I actually took a wheelbarrow and laid down all this wood chip that you see to remediate it.
Wow.
All the wood chip. So every piece of wood chip that you see, you know, was brought in by one of these wheelbarrows right here just to make it happen. And it was just because, you know, not knowing what I was doing, made a mistake, but it's like, man, I can't, you know, waste my money. And, you know, when you're doing business, it's like you got to make some things work.
So how long have you been farming?
This would be my 5th year.
Wow. So what got you into farming, brother?
Part 36 of the time one must be done by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
So break it down, like what that is and what stuck out to you to make you want to put plan to action.
So in there he talks about GMO seeds, transgenic seeds, and how the food that we're eating is killing us. And even if you think you're eating healthy, you're actually not eating healthy if you're not careful, because of the different things that they've put in staple foods and things that they've done to the seeds. So in there he breaks it all down. I mean, he makes it plain, absolutely plain, down to how they're spraying the foods to make them look brighter than they really are, changing the DNA of the food, which causes problems when we ingest it because we're meant to eat natural foods, pesticides, you know, all these different things they're doing to the food. And then towards the end, he shares that if you really want to eat good food, you got to really learn how to grow it on your own, or you got to connect with somebody that grows food so that you can know exactly what's in it.
So that's why we doing this with you right now. We about to learn and connect with somebody who does it. Yeah.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Explain the benefits of growing your own, like financial benefits, mental benefits, spiritual benefits, all that, brother.
Let's walk over here.
Okay, cool.
So we can start with the financial benefits.
All right.
I mean, it's clear, you know, that your grocery bill is definitely going down when you growing your own food. Because I mean, look, when I need to cook something, or my wife needs to cook something, and we need we need peppers.
You got fresh peppers right here.
Fresh peppers. I'm just doing this, and these aren't, you know, little peppers either. These are full-grown peppers.
Wow.
You know, full-grown peppers that are ready to go and are healthy. And what you just saw me do, you know, when you buy produce at the grocery store, I just removed this produce from the plant. I just separated it.
Absolutely.
It's dying now.
Wow.
It's dying now. I just separated this from life. It's dying now. So somebody can tell you, okay, yeah, my food is organic. My food, you know, I'm not spraying any pesticides or, you know, anything like that. But how long has it been dead?
Wow.
When you go to the organic aisle and it's like, okay, we have, you know, this produce on sale. It's organic, but it's on sale for $2.99. How long has it been sitting there? Because as it dies, it loses its nutritional value. just from its dying. So it's lowering vitamin C, it's lowering vitamin A, whatever nutrients were in it, it's depleted now. So not only do we have to worry about, okay, pesticides, that's one thing. You know, what are they spraying on it? Other thing we have to worry about is how fresh is it?
Absolutely. So when you see that sell by date and that best by date, that means nothing.
That it all depends upon there are regulations that decide when it's best buy. The best buy is really just what this is best buy.
Wow.
This is the best time to eat it. Now to take it on into the house, you know, so my wife can cook it, so I can cook it, and we can start enjoying it. This is really the best way to do it.
100%.
Or to get it from a farmer that's getting it to you maybe same day, next day, because then you're getting the maximum amount of nutrition,
Absolutely.
for your money.
Yes, sir. So I know you spoke on black farmers, right?
Yeah.
And it's an abundance of us, well, abundance of y'all out here, right?
Yeah.
So break that down.
Yeah. So there's quite a few large farms in the Chicagoland area, you know, owned by black people. Urban Growers Collective is fantastic. That's where I did my apprenticeship. That's how I learned how to grow. I did the apprenticeship program for 2 years. Learned, you know, from scratch. I mean, they teach you from the beginnings, like where you learn how to form these beds from nothing. So everything that I learned that apprenticeship I did here.
Wow.
You know, you learning how to shape the beds from scratch. You learning how to start seeds, and then now, you know, my 5th year, I'm getting into seed saving.
So break down what seed saving is.
So what kind of flower do you think this is?
You say what kind of flower?
Yep.
Man, I'm.
It's gonna blow your mind.
Nah, not lavender, but dandelion. I don't know.
Nah, broccoli.
Broccoli?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So come over here.
Okay,
On
cool.
this side, come real close. Broccoli. So come here, come real close to it.
All right.
You can see this is a head of broccoli.
Oh wow, that is broccoli. Dang.
That's a head of broccoli. So every vegetable flowers. Every vegetable has a flower. Like if I even let these carrots go to what we call go to seed, you see carrot flowers. And then when they flower like this, they start to pollinate it. So you come over here.
Okay, cool.
You can see. You know,
the
insects
bee.
get on it and they start pollinating.
So that's good when you see the insects on your food.
The right insects, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, wasps are okay to see because they're going through there eating all the bugs that would be damaging your crops. Bees are great to see. But you know, if you have a certain pest that eats what you're growing, like you don't want to see a whole lot of them.
Absolutely.
And the wasps help with that. They help with that. But what is going to happen here is these are going to close up and they're actually going to produce seeds after they get fertilized. And I'll be able to take these seeds and you save these seeds and you grow them for the next season.
100%.
So this is, you know, when we start talking about financial again, I mean, if I break one of these open and we start talking seeds, this is one pepper, right?
Yeah.
One pepper.
You got to be a little strong to farm, huh?
Yeah. It's one pepper. Look at all these seeds in here that can produce another pepper plant, and that pepper plant's going to produce more peppers all throughout the season. So now you're talking about your ability to multiply and grow, right? From just saving a couple of peppers, man, I could fill this whole field with green peppers. And then I take these green peppers, I harvest them, you know, I store them in my cooler, I'm able to sell them, cook them, do all different types of things with them. And now we're getting into real economics.
100%.
You know, it's like, how do I get into real economics without having my hand out, asking for somebody to give me something and I can go and get it for myself?
Absolutely.
This is where it starts.
Absolutely.
This is where it starts, agriculture.
So I mentioned you well, you said this before. How you could save people through farming, right? Well, save lives through farming. Can you break that down?
So good food, one, farming is the engine of our national life. So we talk about, you know, a nation, right? Us as a people, a group, a body, thinking for the whole. We all eat. All of us. We all eat. But what do we eat? Many of the things that we suffer from are ailments, right? That we're on medication for. Our family members are on medication for. It's due to the things that we're eating, right? And we try our best, but the reality is the food that's in our communities is not the healthiest food for us. The oils that they're cooking in are not the healthiest oils for us. We just talked about when we were on our way here looking at all of the different fields, right? And the fields that have corn in them. And the type of corn that they grow isn't sweet corn. You can't bite into it and eat it. It's almost hard as a rock. But they'll take that same corn that you couldn't eat when it was in its raw form, process it, turn it into oil, and now we cooking chicken in it. Now we're cooking chicken in it. We knew we just couldn't eat it raw though. It's hard as a rock. I could throw it at somebody's head and give him a concussion with it. But we gonna grind that up, turn that into oil, and now fry our chicken in it.
Wow.
And we don't know, right? Because we're not involved in the food system. We don't know where this stuff is coming from. You know, we're going to the store. So one, we can save ourselves just by a greater knowledge of where the food is coming from, what we should eat, what we shouldn't eat. But then number two, if we just make it easier to get better food.
100%.
It's got to be easier. You know, we just drove. We know how far out we are.
Yeah.
All our people can't come out this far.
Absolutely.
You know, to get this type of food. So it's not about just growing it here. It's like, okay, how do we get this into the city? How do we make this more accessible for our people so that they can get this good food without, having to go too far? Because the corner store is closed.
Yeah.
These fast food places are closed.
But this is far.
This is far.
So like, what's the first step to that?
The first step, so we have a farmer's market we're doing bi-weekly. We taking it to the people. It's right there on the south side of Chicago. We're doing it at the mosque. That's happening bi-weekly. But from there, we're talking to a couple of different aldermen in different wards about finding, these vacant lots that we can grow, that we can start growing on. We have a pool, brothers, we pulled our money together. We started a farm, and that farm is called Jana Farm. That's a different farm, and we put our money together. So now that we're rolling and we're growing, we got land. It's even further out to Champaign. I got my cooler here. We bring it, we store it here, and then we sell it. On Saturdays at the market. So, doing more of that, but just closer in the city.
100%.
We got a lot of vacant lots in the city, and these same thing that you see being done here can be done in those vacant lots.
Absolutely.
100%.
So keep taking us through here, showing us and teaching us, brother.
Praise you to Allah. So these are onions.
Okay.
These are onions. Bro.
Dang, these real onions right here. This is crazy.
Real onions. So, onions, and you'll see, how they tell you onions are a purifier?
Yeah.
They really are.
Okay.
Because every year, man, pests do not mess with my onions.
You say the pests don't?
They don't mess with the onions. They don't mess with the onions. Matter of fact, if you want to protect something else, you can put onions next to it. And whatever's a pest or, disease that's typically come to your crop is going to stay away because of how strong onions are.
Wow.
How strong they are. I never have any issues, man. They get huge. They get big. And, we put them in so many different dishes, it just makes sense to have them. And they store for a long time.
100%.
As well. They store for a long time. So, these are good. Actually, my son recently just wasn't feeling well. My wife, cut up some onions so that my son could smell them, in his room. And his room was smelling like onions.
Dang.
For sure. But him sleeping in it and the scent coming into his nose, knocked out his cold. Because they're pungent. Watch. You smell one?
I believe.
Very pungent. This hasn't even cured yet. So watch this. Like that. Smell that.
Dang, you can really smell the onion on it.
Yeah. This is fresh.
Wow.
And it's strong. So you want to chop that up. Whatever stomach cold you got, just put your nose in that. Smell that for a while. Just knocking it out.
Wow.
Pulling it right out. These are cabbage. These are just about done. So I can salvage some of these that are ready, but for the most part, I need to pull this bed up and then replant.
So how long does it take for this to regrow?
Regrow?
Yeah.
Cabbage, I say about 40 to 45 to 60 days, depending on the variety.
Oh, that ain't even long then.
But the one thing about cabbage though is you get one head. So after you chop this head, it's done.
Oh, dang.
It's done. That's it. So you need like a decent amount of land, because you see how much space they take up too. And they take up quite a bit of space. Yeah. I'm getting a lot of vegetables in my hand. But we all have heard like photosynthesis in school.
Yeah.
These green leaves for the plant, they're like solar panels.
Wow.
Think about them almost like solar panels. They go out, they work to get the sun, and with the energy that they get from the sun, they're able to use that to create sugars that they send down in the roots. And then from the sugars that they send down, all the bacteria come and they help them get the iron, the zinc, the magnesium, the potassium, the calcium, all that, so they can take it up into the plant.
Absolutely.
So it's like a whole ecosystem. It's a whole ecosystem, man. More onions. I got beets right here. My wife loves to make juice. with these.
Oh, the beet juice.
Yeah. So make the beet juice, juice them. This is my cucumbers, man. I did not have a good year with cucumbers, and I really knew it wasn't gonna be good at the start of the year because I planted cucumbers, and then shortly after I planted them, I already saw the pest.
Dang.
You know, the enemy to the cucumber was already there when they were little, and they were adults. You know, adult pests were already on it. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be a tough year. And as you can see, you know, a lot of it didn't make it.
Wow.
You know, this year you can see the dead. But that's a part of growing. It happens. It happens.
Live and you learn.
You learn, and then you know, you can make some adjustments for next year. So one of the main adjustments that I'm gonna make is I'm gonna try what's called companion planting. So I shared with you how onions kind of keep things away. I'm going to see if planting the onions within the cucumbers will keep the pests off of the cucumber plants. We'll see how it does next year when I try that. But yeah, today, I mean, this year definitely a rough year for my cucumbers, for sure.
So cucumbers and watermelons grow the same way, or?
Yeah, they both have vines. So I got watermelon over here actually. You can see kind of the similarities between the two. You see? So these are all the little. If I trellis these, this would try to grow up. Trellis is like this.
Okay.
So if I put that down here for the watermelon, you'd see them try to grow up. You know what I put there. Yeah. So this is all watermelon. This whole bed going all the way down here.
Dang. So this watermelon too, or?
This is corn.
Corn. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is corn. But this is the corn you can actually eat.
All right. Yeah. Break this down. Okay.
Yeah, so this is sweet corn. This is sweet corn. You drive past a lot of those major farms, you see like corn as far as your eye can see. That's not corn, the type of corn you can eat.
So the main corn you see is the main corn you can't eat.
You cannot eat.
Wow.
You cannot eat. I mean, when you see it fully grown, it's as hard as a rock. Like you bite into it and it would probably break your teeth.
Wow.
It's that hard.
So explain how that's breaking down in your stomach then when we digest that.
Yeah. So one of the main things that they use for that corn is high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup. Now a lot of you all listening have heard of that before, but for those of you who haven't heard it before, high fructose corn syrup is what they use in a lot of these fast food places, sugary drinks, junk food. They're using this type of corn that you can't eat. No, sorry, not this type of corn, but the other type of corn that you can't eat to make these sugars, and it's giving us diabetes.
Dang.
It's giving us diabetes because your body can't lower your blood sugar quick enough once this gets into the bloodstream. So it spikes your blood sugar, and then it causes issues with your pancreas, which is what eventually ends up causing diabetes.
Wow.
Yeah, when your pancreas has issues. So this corn, though, this is called sweet corn. It's called sweet, and this is the type of corn that you can eat. This is the type of corn that you want to throw on the grill. In the summer, right?
Sure.
Or, you know, at the barbecue, making sure that you have it. This is that type of corn. So each little stalk here that you see will produce about 4 to 6 ears of corn. So this is going to be a lot of corn.
Dang.
Probably almost 500 ears or more.
500 years?
Probably 500 years. Maybe even close to 1,000.
1,000 years of corn right here.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of
Wow. And just this small area.
Just a small area. And that's what I'm saying is in these vacant lots throughout the city, you can grow a lot of food. You can grow a lot of food. Like imagine, you know, one of these lots that are just broken down somewhere, right? Somebody's just growing on it, growing food. At a certain point in the summer, you could feed the whole block. You could feed the whole block. You could pull up with a grill.
So you say we could feed the whole block if we learn how to grow.
There's enough food here to feed the whole block right now.
Dang.
Right now.
Talk your stuff then, brother.
We can feed the block right now.
For
so
sure.
take these vacant lots, man, and we start growing and producing on these lots. I mean, when it's time to eat, you could pull the grill up right in front of the lot, start pulling out the things that we would need to be able to cook the food and just do it right there, have a block party.
A crop party, yeah.
A crop party, I like it.
Yes, sir.
Block crop party.
So, as we know, it's a war with farming right now. Can you break down the war on farming?
Yeah, so they're making it harder to get land.
They're
making it harder to get land, and they're making it more difficult for farmers because the billionaires want to move in and get the land. Now, one of the things that we need to learn in terms of, you know, generational wealth and how to pass on our money, how to pass on our wealth, is in land ownership. So I'll give you an example. Bill Gates, right? You and I were talking about this in the car. Billionaire. He makes his billions of dollars, and then what does he do with it? He buys land. Okay? Mark Zuckerberg makes his billions of dollars. What does he do with it? He buys land. You know, many of the families that preserve their wealth, you know, the Vanderbilts, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, what do? They buy land. Now, why do they buy land? So, there are certain families that own things like timberland, or own things like mines, or own things like water rights. So, just imagine, put this in your head, Imagine your family owns 10,000 acres of timberland, right? As long as wood is used, your family will be able to make money.
And we need wood forever.
Forever. So this is how people maintain their wealth. When you hear about families that have been rich for centuries, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 years. They're using land, and no matter what happens in the future, I know AI is big right now, it's everywhere. And people are saying, oh, AI is gonna, you know, cut jobs and everything like that. Okay, we're still gonna use wood. We're still gonna need minerals to create everything, to build, to manufacture cars, to make the iPhones that we use. Like, we're still gonna need raw land, and if you own that, regardless of what happens, your family's gonna be secure. I mean, see, I just had a wood fence built on the land right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wood.
Perfect example of it.
Yeah, perfect example. Perfect example. So they're investing in land, and it's like we can follow a similar model. You know, on a scale in which we can, on which we can do it by producing land. That's what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan tell us to do: get land and be productive on the land.
Absolutely.
And that's how you build real wealth. That's how you do it.
So I remember a long time ago you told me this: knowledge means nothing if you don't apply it.
Yeah.
So can you break it down to the viewer that might watch this?
Yeah. So, so we're taught that knowledge is a force, and it allows the person, you know, imbued with it to overcome obstacles, you know, in their path. So, is a force, I mean, it could potentially be a force. You know, a force is my ability to make something move, right? So if I say, let's say I have knowledge, right? I have knowledge of what weeds look like.
Yeah. Ooh.
I have knowledge of what weeds look like.
I can walk through right here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you can walk through. It's a lot of this is watermelon vine.
Ah, okay.
So I have knowledge of what weeds look like. So I can look at everything and I can say, okay, that's a weed over there. That's a weed. There's weeds right here. This is a weed. That's a weed. This is a weed. This is a weed. That's a weed. I'm getting no work done.
Yeah.
There's no benefit to anything that I'm saying or the knowledge that I have until I practically apply it and do something with it.
100%.
You got to do something with it.
100%.
So with any knowledge that we have, it's great to have it. It's great to share it with people, you know, on social media and build in circles and everything. But until it's properly applied, nothing happens.
Facts.
Nothing happens. And that's one of the things I love about agriculture is they make the principles of life so plain. So plain. Somebody can have all the knowledge in the world about every single plant, but until you put that seed in the ground, until you water it, until you take care of it, until it's time to harvest, and then get off your backside and actually harvest it before it goes bad, there's no benefit.
100%.
There's no benefit, man. So that principle applies in real life. You know, if you're excited about starting a business and you're studying a whole lot and reading about your business, I mean, you essentially doing what I just showed you. It's like, okay, I could do this, I could do that, I could build this, I could start this, but it's until you actually do it,
Absolutely.
you get nothing out of your knowledge.
Absolutely. Dang, you just broke that down real well.
Man, praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir. So is there anything else you want to speak on, touch on?
Speak on, touch on. Yeah, one of the things I'd encourage, like if you want to get started, if you're in the Chicagoland area, the Urban Growers Collective, I'd start you exactly where I started. You know, and I would go to that organization. They teach classes all throughout the summer, and you can go there and you can learn and you can volunteer.
Absolutely.
You know, there and really get started. Also, like if you're already growing, you know how to grow. Maybe, you know, you used to help grandma, your mom, your pops back in the day. Get back into it. Get back into it. you know, and start doing it. This is something that you can do, you know, on top of what else you do. You know, primarily the way that I, you know, provide for myself and my family is, you know, through computers. You know, I work with computers. But that doesn't stop me from, you know, being able to grow my own food. Everybody can do it. This isn't a magical thing where you're born with a green thumb. No, God will give every human being the ability to feed themselves.
Wait, say that again, brother.
God will give every human being the ability to feed themselves.
100%.
He doesn't create any creature. There's not a bird that gets up and wonders, like, how am I going to feed myself? Every single thing that he created, whether it's a worm, whether it's a fish, whether it's a bird, is able to provide the means so that they can continue to exist. And you could do the exact same thing.
100%.
You could do the exact same thing. And I'm telling you, once you make up in your mind that you decide to do that, God will move every single obstacle in your path to make sure that you and your family can eat and that you get access to what you need to be able to grow your own food. And I'm living proof.
Absolutely.
I'm living proof, man.
So let them know you from the trenches. You come from them environments too, because a lot of people might hear the way you talk, carry yourself, and think this ain't even possible. So break it down for them, brother.
Well, man, look. So I was actually raised by a single dad. Single dad, man. My mom passed away when I was really young in a car accident. So my dad held it down for me and my two siblings. And then the other part of that was, man, my pops, he didn't have a whole lot of money because he sung blues and jazz. That's what he's saying. So I come from a very musical family, and coming from that musical family, and my father also coming from that life, stopped me from necessarily going down that path. But you're still in the environment, though.
100%.
You're still in the environment, though. You still got to look over, and you still got to watch your back, though. So that's what, you know, that coupled with growing up in the mosque, growing up in the nation, you know, kept me on that right path. You know, and the love of my people is what keeps me going back.
No, that's real.
So just because I'm here, just because, you know, I have land and I'm growing my own food, I still have my people on my mind, right? Like we were talking earlier about, okay, how do we do this in the city? How do we bring this back? You know, right now we're even bringing the food back to the city because no one man can rise above the condition of his people.
Say that one more time.
No one man can rise above the condition of his people. So if you got it, but your people don't have it, you don't have it.
No.
You don't have it. Or you won't have it long.
100%. No, that's
if you
real.
do have it, you know? So we have to think about the whole. And that's what we're taught. And that's the approach, you know, in agriculture. Like I'm thinking now, how do you know, you got 4 acres. Okay, how do I get 100?
Absolutely.
So that I can grow more food. Once you get 100, it's like, okay, how do I get 1,000? How do I get 10,000? And you scale up. And you put the proper systems in place so that you can actually scale so that we can provide for our people. Because we got a lot of our people that we need to feed. We have 50 million people now. It's 50 million of us. That's a lot of food.
Yeah, that's a lot of food. For sure. But we need more farmers. It can't just be you.
Yeah, we need more farmers. We need more farmers for sure. And here's the interesting piece though. Now is the best time to get into agriculture.
Okay.
Why? Why is the best time to get into agriculture? You know the average age of a farmer in the United States?
Nah.
65.
What?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, the average person that grows your food is 65 years old. So, if we just doing basic math, if the average farmer is 65 years old, they're not going to be around a whole lot longer. I mean, what, the average life expectancy in the country is 70?
Oh, so that means like 5 years.
Yeah, 70, okay. But everybody still has to eat. So who's the land going to go to? A lot of their children don't want to farm anymore. They don't want to farm anymore. You know, they went off to college. They doing other things. They don't want to go back and farm. So a lot of these farms are closing down, and you'll see it today. If you in any major city, go drive out to the suburbs where you start seeing farmland, and all you're going to see is for sale, for sale, for sale, for sale, for sale. You can see it now. If you in Chicago and you drive out to Mokina, all of that land's going to be for sale. You're going to see 150, 200 acres for sale. So they're getting out of farming. They're getting out of the business of farming. And
that means we need to come in.
And we need to come in.
Absolutely.
People still need to eat, bro. People still need to eat. But that first key, what's even more important than having the land is knowing how to be productive on the land. Because if you just have land and you don't know how to make it productive, all you got is a tax bill.
Yep, you was explaining that in the car too.
That's all you got.
Yeah.
All you got is a tax bill. So knowing how to be productive on the land, growing the food, you can do that now. Because I started on my porch on the west side of Chicago in 2 buckets.
Wait, so you started on a porch?
On a porch.
Wow.
2 buckets.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 buckets, man. I had a pepper plant and a tomato plant that one of the brothers in the mines gave me.
Wow.
From volunteering over at his farm, and that was my start, bro. And I killed one of them.
Dang.
On accident.
Dang.
Because I just didn't know what I was doing.
Long live the plant, man.
Long live the plant. But that was the summer of 2019. And then, yeah, started growing, learning, got the land. You know, now here we are, fast forward 5 years later.
So where you see this 5 years from now?
5 years from now, let's walk and go see.
Okay.
Let's walk and go see, bro. So, as I said, I had to, you know, remediate a lot of this land.
Uh-huh.
But there's a lot of space. There's a lot of space. And for the parts that are cleared and you know, well kept, we fenced it in just so this could be like, this is our main area. But there's more land back here.
Wow.
A whole lot more back here. So,
Oh, man.
you can step through.
All of this land.
All this land going all the way back. Walk, keep going all the way back. So this can be cleared and turned into productive land. I mean, we can put animals on here. We could grow more crops on here, you know, by clearing out some of the trees. Some of these trees are dead and need to be cleared out anyway, like this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But
No,
the light skin one?
The light skin. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
that's
skin one.
yeah.
The bark fell off. See, that one's dead. That one's dead. I thought you were being funny.
Nah, I was just so serious right now.
A light-skinned tree.
Yeah.
Light-skinned
So every time you see a light skinned tree, that means it's dying?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't mean a light skin to die, bro.
No, I ain't saying it like that. Now you got to. Oh, man.
Man, but yeah, so this is the vision, you know, clear it, and then, you know, continue to come back.
Absolutely.
Continue to come back as far as we can and just make it productive. So, but you can see, you know, I've done a lot of cutting.
Oh, wow.
Trees cut down over here. You can't really see it because all the vegetation grew over the top of it, but there's a massive tree that's, you know, been felled right here. I got a chainsaw.
So what do you do in the wintertime, though, like when everything dies?
That's your time to clear.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's your chance because all this vegetation isn't here in a way that you got to cut. So as soon as the winter comes, you can come out here. The trees, you let them dry out so that they're easier to cut. Start cutting them down.
Oh, wow.
You know, and so we're gonna buy a wood chipper so that when we do cut them, I can take the wood chipper and then, you know, boom, start chipping them right here on the land.
So you use the same thing you cut down to build right back up.
Exactly. Take those wood chips.
So everything is of resource then, pretty much.
Yup. Definitely make your own compost. Because with the wood
So what
chip,
this is right here?
so this is all the compost that we use to make the beds.
Okay.
Actually. So with wood chip, so everything that you see that's brown has carbon in it.
Okay.
And everything that you see is green, that's green, has nitrogen in it. So you can mix carbon with nitrogen, water, and air, and use that to make compost.
Oh, wow.
And this is the nutrition that you're getting, that you're putting back into your food. You know, so I have a plastic tarp over the top of this because that kills weeds.
Okay.
But see, this is the same thing that I make the beds out of right here, and you can even see the wood chip in it. You see the wood chip in it? Some of it didn't break down all the way. You know, but still usable. And then putting all the nutrition right back into your food. You know, as you grow it. Just like
So
that.
you got the chickens too?
Chickens, yeah, it's probably some eggs in here too. I didn't even eggs. Let me see. Some eggs in here. So any weeds that I cut, I give to the chickens. Any food that doesn't really look that good, I give to the chickens. As well as like scraps. One of the chickens, yeah, sit on the egg. Come on.
Oh, this a chicken in there?
Mm-hmm. She brooding right now. She just makes she want to sit on the egg. She don't want to move. Yeah, she don't want to move. You can see. Put it in there. See the eggs on this side over here?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm coming back for those later. Get those eggs.
So now you don't even have to spend money on eggs, right? And the price of eggs went up like crazy too, didn't it?
Yeah. Shout out. Let's get you some chickens.
Yeah.
Got eggs.
It's a little bit more work, but you got to do more work at your job. So
Yeah.
it's all about perspective, you know.
Yeah. Just take that 15 minutes from the Netflix series. Come take care of the chickens, and then you got some eggs. That's it.
Wow.
That's right. 15 minutes a day, if that, to take care of those chickens.
So it really don't even take much then.
Nope. Not once it's all set up. I mean, it was a lot of work to get it set up to the point where I could grow on it. But once you have, your systems in place, it's not a whole lot of work.
100%.
It's not a whole lot of work, man.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, any other questions? Any other thoughts?
I got one more question. What's your favorite thing to grow?
My favorite thing to grow? Onion.
You said the onion.
Yeah, definitely the onion.
Is it? What's the hardest thing to grow?
The hardest thing to grow right now would be those cucumbers. Because, they went bad, and I don't even know why they went bad. The second hardest thing, I say in the climate that we're in, watermelon. Because you got this real narrow window of heat. They really need a lot of heat. And that's why a lot of watermelon is brought from
The
down
south.
Yeah. So we're going to see how they do this year. They did pretty well last year. But, that's probably the second hardest thing.
So what's the easiest thing to grow, like if you in the Midwest area besides corn?
Root crops do really well. So root crops, carrots.
Okay.
These did really well. I did potatoes. They did great because they're cold hardy, so you can start those in the ground earlier.
Okay, cool.
You can start those in the ground earlier, man. So, carrots, great. Potatoes are great. Radish, beets, all those.
Okay, cool. So I got one more question, then we good.
All right.
So, what role does God play in doing this?
I mean, all this is you have a direct connection to God through this. Like you think when people look at the supreme being, right? The supreme being, God. What makes him supreme? He's supreme in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Now, we're taught ye are all gods, children of the Most High God, right? We're children of the supreme being, though. And what makes him supreme is he gave us every single thing that we need to exist. So, like, okay, it's great. I could make a massive farm. I could make a 10,000 acre dairy farm with cows on it, okay? Who gave me the cow, though?
Facts.
Who created the cow for me to even be able to create a dairy cow? I could create a skyscraper made of all glass, right? Glass on every side. It looks amazing. He was like, oh man, he created this, man. He's expressing his godhood, right? Who gave me the sand that they used to melt to make the glass? Who gave me the seeds to even be able to grow in any of this, right? I didn't make the wasp. That's the only pest control I have. I don't spray anything. I use nature to combat whatever issues I'm dealing with in nature. I didn't create the wasp.
100%.
So in our lessons, we learn who's the original man. The original man is the maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. I'm making things with the things that God created. I'm making them. I'm not creating them. He already gave them to us. But I'm making things out of what he created. Absolutely. And that's the direct connection, and that's the understanding. And when you see it that way, you have a deep respect for everything in God's creation because he created everything with a purpose.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you. So, who you shooting with, family?
Shooting with the eye of the trenches.
And who I got with me again?
Man, it's your brother, Malik and Katha. Excited to be here with you all. For y'all to see this. Put a seed in the ground. Learn how to grow your own food. You can do it. This is the eye, putting this idea in your mind, right? In your third eye.
Yes, sir. In that order, brother.
In that order.
Look! This is the eye of the trenches!
The greatest brainwashing was to turn us away from the land. Because when we turn away from the land, we're turning away from our ability to be independent and to be free. Like we depend upon this to survive.
No matter what race you are, what religion, we all got the same basic necessities. That's food, clothing, and shelter.
We on a farm. I'm with the OG black farmer and the YG black farmer. You hear me?
The farm is first, but we gotta understand first don't mean that's the end goal.
Everywhere that you look at land, you're looking at a potential business opportunity.
That's why these countries, they go to war to take people land.
That's right.
They want territory, they want to expand, they want that earth because they know what can be produced from it. For us in Chicago, any major city you in, there are urban farms popping up every year.
That's right.
So you don't have to see this and say, man, I'm a long way away. You can start small and work your way up.
First get the skills and then get the land. Because business is warfare. So if we're at business and we're at war with one another, you know, and you're selling a certain thing that I'm selling, that could be taking food out of my family's mouth. And the raw material that I need to run the business from my brother, when the competition comes, there is no cutting me off because me and my brother are locked in with each other. How would you say learning how to grow your own food changed you as a person?
When you don't harvest the weed, when it's in its baby stage, it'll become these tall grasses that are much more difficult to manage. When problems are minor in your life, you have to nip it in the bud early on. Because if you keep letting that problem pile on and pile on and pile on, it becomes a much more strenuous task. We inside the greenhouse.
Okay.
So greenhouse is used early in the season to start your plants. So you got your 4 elements. You got air, you got water, you got the earth, and you got sun.
Okay.
Those 4 elements have to be unified to create an end product. Whatever. On this farm, we're growing over 20 different crops, so you get to see so many different plants, so many different colors.
I'm grabbing a raspberry, y'all.
Easy peasy.
Man, that tastes like some lemonade.
Look! This is the eye of the trenches.
Farms,
Down the farm.
2 young black farmers getting at it.
Yes, sir. Showing real unity through farming.
Real unity, man. So got 2 farmers, main farmers, but we have a full group of men that put their money together to get access to the land and to really get the farm business up and running. So it's a total of 16. I shared that there's different aspects in agriculture. This is the growing side of it, but you have the processing hat. Like somebody's got to bring it out of the field, wash it, clean it. You have the marketing side. Somebody's got to let people know that you had a produce after you harvest it and it comes out of the field. And there's distribution, like how do you get it to the customer? So there are some people who want to get into agriculture as a grower. There's some who don't necessarily want to get in the field, but there's space for everybody if we get out here and we get into it. So the total of 16, of us that come together, and all of us, play different aspects in the agricultural food system.
Absolutely. So what's your role, brother?
So I'm the farm manager at Jonna Farms. So we have half an acre of outdoor space, and then we have 3 rows inside these high tunnels, which you see here. In the high tunnels, we're doing tomatoes, and then out in the field, we were growing over 20 different varieties of vegetables, from cabbage, broccoli, carrots, onions. Now you got the summer crops like eggplant, okra, tomato, bell peppers. So my job was just maintaining those crops from seed to harvest and make sure they get stored properly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and those same crops are the ones that are going to the market. We got a bi-weekly farmers market that we do. We've also serviced a couple of restaurants as well. This is coming straight from that farm. No pesticides, no GMO.
No GMO, no none of that.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to let y'all lead the way with this one today, you hear me?
So in fact, some of the bell peppers we're growing, these are the red bell peppers. I'm going to show you where they're at in the field.
Okay, cool.
So I chose some of the best bell peppers we had out there and then saved the seeds from them. So I just put the date, bell pepper, and then the variety is called California Wonder.
Okay.
So this variety has been in existence since 1928. It's called an heirloom variety. So that just means this seed variety has been passed down for over 50 years. So
wait, so you could pass down the same seeds that long?
Yep. Just like we got ancestors in history, these seeds got parents too.
Wow. Yes, indeed.
Heavy.
Yes, sir. I see you put on the exotic boots today, brother.
I had to. I know I was coming. You know we coming.
So what do you want people to get out of this one today, bro?
One, the importance of farming, for sure. But then also on top of that, group economics. You know, there are a lot of us. I've been seeing in a lot of the comments that there are those who want to, who know how to farm, but don't necessarily have access to land. You can partner with people, you know, who have money, who have funds, and if you put it together, like, you know, for us, it's a total of 16 in total. Everybody's not necessarily a farmer. There's 2 of us in a group that can farm, but by pooling your resources and putting your money together, you can get access to land.
Absolutely.
That'd be what I want people to get out of this, man. Grow, connect with those who know how to grow, pool your resources, and then pooling your resources, get access to some land.
So break down how you all met then.
You want to take it? I'll take it.
Yeah, through the Nation of Islam.
Come on.
I was born and raised in the nation. Parents got registered before I was even born. Went to school at Muhammad University from kindergarten to 8th grade. Instilled in me a lot of the morals and manners I have. And then I personally got registered 2 years ago.
Yes.
And when I got registered, Brother Malik was one of the officers who was training me up and helping me become a better man, honestly.
Praise be to Allah. So in the car, you mentioned the biggest brainwashing. Can you break down the biggest brainwashing they did to us?
Greatest, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the greatest brainwashing was to turn us away from the land. Because when we turn away from the land, we're turning away from our ability to be independent and to be free. So when I read that he said that, I was like, man, there's a lot of brainwashing that happened with us as a people when we going through, you know, the transatlantic slave trade and slavery. But the greatest brainwashing was to turn us away from the land. And when you get into this land and you get into growing and you get into being productive, you begin to really see like what exactly that we were turned away from. You know, but just the way we were turned away from it, we could turn back to it and pick up these skills again and get back into the soil and reconnect so that we can start growing for ourselves and being productive on the land.
Absolutely. So let's get into it.
So first we gonna dump these in a compost bin.
Okay.
And I'm gonna show you where these actual bell peppers are growing at.
Okay, cool.
And to your point, the messenger, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, said the farm is first. But we gotta understand, first don't mean that's the end goal.
That's right.
So if we only are on the level of farming, producing crops, and making raw materials, and not converting it into actual goods, if we're not turning tomatoes into salsa, if we're not turning garlic into garlic powder, we're not turning these trees into homes for timber, clay into stone, then the farming just becomes a burden. Right. But once you have other people with those skill sets who can convert the raw materials into useful products for your people, then you're really creating an industry.
Absolutely. Yeah. And how lucrative can this industry get, brother?
Well, we could study America. They took cotton and made billions and trillions of dollars. To your point, cotton was first for them, but that wasn't the end. In the South, they was growing cotton. In the North, they had the Industrial Revolution, where they was converting cotton into products that they was selling all over the world to help them become a rich country.
So that's group economics again, isn't it?
100% group economics, you know, because if I grow the cotton and my brother, you know, manufactures the clothes, we have now an economic system that somebody can't cut off. You know, your competition can't come to you and go to your supplier and say, no, don't sell them these clothing items anymore, which is something that we struggle with as a people anytime we get into economics. Because business is warfare. So if we're at business, and we're at war with one another, you know, and you're selling a certain thing that I'm selling, that could be taking food out of my family's mouth. Because if I'm getting that dollar, that's a dollar that you're not getting. So at certain points in competition, there are those of us who have grown big, who have gotten, you know, large in business, and will be cut off.
Absolutely.
From being able to operate in that business. Is because we don't have access to the source. You know, my brother, if I'm getting the cotton and the raw material that I need to run the business from my brother, when the competition comes, there is no cutting me off because me and my brother are locked in with each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In fact, they parked the ATV, so y'all wanna ride around?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get it.
Let's have some fun, you know? So people think farming can be boring, but it's a lot of fun and excitement you get through this. So what excites you about this, bro?
Honestly, every day is a new thrill and a new challenge. So just the excitement and that level of not knowing what you're walking into and having to actually use critical thinking and problem solving in that sense, it could become very stressful. But then once you overcome that challenge, that's like euphoria on a level you don't understand. So
Wow.
that's why diverse growing methods is so important. In America, in Illinois, for example, they grow corn, soybean. That's all you hear about.
Yeah.
But on this farm, we growing over 20 different crops, so you get to see so many different plants, so many different colors, vibrant colors. You attracting so many different insects, so you're really seeing the full reality of God's creation.
Absolutely.
So I don't know everything. But anytime I want to identify a plant, we could use the tools that we have. So I just took a picture of it. I'm going straight to ChatGPT.
You say ChatGPT.
Straight to ChatGPT. I'll drop this image in there. Wow. Add that photo. It's in there. We're going to load it and see what ChatGPT says. Now, we're not taking it on face value, but it's a good start to research. So it says this is actually common milkweed. Common milkweed. Identifies how it knows it's common milkweed. What can I do with common milkweed? And what can I do with it? Because the things that we identify to be weeds, they're weeds because we just don't want them growing there. But everything has a purpose at the end of the day. So you can still learn what you want to do with things that are considered weeds. So that's what it does.
What you say?
It attracts pollinators.
Oh, okay.
It attracts pollinators.
Let's get it. We on the road with it now. We on the farm. I'm with the OG black farmer and the YG black farmer. You hear me? Yes, indeed. We out here, man.
We out here. We on the land.
Feet on land for real. You see this?
Get it out the mud.
Get
for
it.
real.
Yes, indeed.
So our plot starts from this batch of weeds, and it ended where you see grass mold.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we outside, man. I never thought this camera would take me this far. You hear me?
Agriculture can become very efficient if you know how to think smart and not hard, as they say. So this method of irrigation is called drip irrigation.
Yeah.
So they connect it to their main water source, and then this little black plastic tube. It has little cuts in each line.
Yeah.
And then it literally just drops out water, just little droplets. But if you run it for an hour or 2 hours, it'll accumulate so much moisture that the plants will get the water they need. And then this black plastic is used with summer crops to keep the soil moist.
Absolutely.
And it keeps the soil warm, since the color black, it attracts the light of the sun. So it keeps the soil warm and moist. So it just creates a good condition for the plants to thrive. And you couldn't get away with hand watering nothing like this. That's fact. You gotta know how to be efficient, how to have some type of ingenuity. I learned with agriculture, it's really a field where all skill sets can thrive. That's right.
Wow.
There's science involved with this. If you're talking about calcium and iron in the soil, if you're talking about antioxidants in the vegetables, you got engineering. If you got to build and construct a high tunnel, be able to deal with weather elements, how to prevent wind from knocking over your structure. You got culinary, being able to cook what you actually grow. You running it down. So it's so many different skill sets for people in this world of agriculture. It's not just you drop a seed in the ground, you water it, and you harvest it. It's a lot that comes with it, and it's a lot of skill sets that can be cultivated with agriculture.
Absolutely.
That's real. And some of you may be wondering, how do you pay to water all this? Because look at this. You get a shot of this.
Yeah.
This almost looks like a fire hose. There's a lot of water coming through here.
It's that same material.
Same material as a fire hose. So you can get access to free water through wells.
Okay.
Through wells. So in drilling a well, you drill the well, a water pump into the well. There's large bodies of water that sit underneath the ground that you cannot see with your eyes, that you can tap into. It's like going straight down, pumping the water right on up, and there is no water bill. Small electric bill for your pump to pump the water up, but this is how people are able to irrigate large acres of land. You got water underneath your feet. Now, if you're living in a city and you turn it on the tap, you getting a water bill. But God gave us water. It's right underneath our feet. We just need the knowledge to be able to tap into it.
Nah,
and then
for
with
sure.
that, tapping into that, you can water all your crops. You can give your animals water. There's a lot of different things that you can do. But that's how it's done.
Absolutely. So I have a question, right? Since we see the soil beds, I heard someone speak on growing on bad soil. Can you break that down? Like, either one of y'all?
Yeah. So one of the things that I heard a lot of people say was growing in the city.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes when you're growing in the city lots can have lead in them.
Yeah.
A lot of the lead got there because in the past we used to have a lot of lead pipes.
Mm-hmm.
So the pipes sitting in the soil, corroding in the soil, breaking down, lead is in the soil. There are ways to remediate the soil. Some people scrape it out, and scraping it out, they bring in new soil. That could be really expensive. So what I recommend you do if you're in the city and you want to learn how to grow, you can apply a barrier between you and the soil. The same little tarp you have here, you could put at the bottom, put soil on top, and then grow into that. Or another method you could do, 24 inches of wood chip, and you can start to create a whole new layer of soil, and then you can grow on top of that. But I will say, regardless of where you are, there's something that you can do. Aziz was talking about ingenuity. There's ingenuity. Regardless of where you are, figure out what needs to be done to be able to grow in your area and do it and get started. And that's not going to be your stopping point. That's going to be your starting point.
Absolutely.
So don't let so much research about soil trip you up. Get some buckets, get a raised bed, put a little, separation between it, and start growing. And then if you want to get further into it, you can do soil tests. You can, take up the soil, send it to a university. They'll test it, send it back to you so you can see if there's anything in your soil.
Absolutely.
And myself, I didn't start knowing how to manage a lot like this. I started with a raised bed structure.
That's right.
8 feet by 4 feet, something that small. Then, even at home, we still use grow bags, no bigger than the size of these buckets. Growing onions in it, growing broccoli in it. So you don't have to see this and say, man, I'm a long way away. You can start small and work your way up. And I can send you some pictures of different ways you could grow. And if we go, my part-time job actually is 5 minutes away. They have a water well, and we show them how to grow over 10 different ways, in straw bales, and raised beds, and buckets, and containers. So it's really no excuse. You could build a raised bed out of cinder blocks and dump some wood chip, like he was saying in there, throw some bags of soil from a box store, and start growing.
Yes, indeed. Let's get
Yes,
it.
sir.
On the way to the Harvo demo, y'all. Let's get it. We live out here in the trenches, scrunchy, you hear me? Soldiering on the farm. Let's get it.
Oh, tomatoes.
So those are all tomatoes right here? Wow.
Back off to the studios. Some of these are apple trees up here.
You said apple trees?
Illinois, we could grow so much fruit. We could grow raspberries, blackberries, watermelon, cantaloupe, apples, pears, blueberries, cherries, grapes. All that could be grown right here in Illinois. But we're shipping everything from Mexico and California.
But we can have it right here at home.
Right here.
It'll be fresher. We'll know what was done to it, because it's hard to know what's really in your food when you're shipping it from another country.
Yeah.
I mean, they can tell you and have all these different types of standards about what's happening, but there's only one way to really know, and that's if you're growing it yourself.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So a ride on the ATV.
Yep. Riding in style.
In fact, we're gonna start off with the high tunnels where our tomatoes at. growing up, I did not enjoy tomatoes. Like, whenever I got a burger or something with a tomato, I'm asking my sister or mom, like, y'all want this
You want
tomato?
this tomato?
Uh-huh.
But when I started working on the farm and seeing Roma tomatoes, Globe tomatoes, tomatoes that's green with yellow stripes and yellow, and cherry tomatoes that's red, orange, black, I'm like, I gotta try these. And they're actually more enjoyable, and I could actually tolerate eating tomatoes raw off the vine, working on the farm. But growing up, you couldn't catch me eating a tomato.
No, for sure, but perspective change, you know?
So much more flavorful too. Yeah. Because one of the things that happen with a lot of commercial tomatoes is they harvest it before it's ripe. So ideally,
The morning is gonna be hot in here, so we only gonna be in here for cool 5 minutes. But this the conditions that farmers have to work with. You can't run from the elements.
that's right.
If it's 50 degrees, 30 degrees, 90 degrees like today, it's still work that gotta be done.
Absolutely.
And for somebody like me, I have allergies.
Yeah.
And some of the plants irritate my skin. I get rashes, bumps. So no matter what, I gotta wear long sleeves, even on hot 90-degree days like today.
Wow.
So it's so much that goes into producing food that unless you actually know a farmer, volunteer on a farm, you really don't know all that it takes to be able to produce healthy, nutritious food without cutting corners, using chemicals. That soybean we see, the farmer who plant that, he probably visits this farm maybe 5 times a month.
Wow.
We gotta be on here every single day monitoring for pests, disease. You gotta see what's causing the leaves to change, what's eating your tomatoes, what's causing them to rot.
So these are all tomatoes?
Yes, sir. So these are Roma tomatoes, good for thicker things like salsa, canning, and then these are Globe tomatoes. So more of like a tomato you would use for a sandwich, slice it up.
Okay, cool. So these are done already?
Yep, these ready to go.
Dang.
Ready to be used.
And some are still ripening like these, you know. But in more conventional growing methods, so like if I was a farmer in Mexico, I'd take them like this.
Okay.
Just because I know they're going to have to go a long distance. But in taking them like this, they're not ready. They haven't gotten all the nutrients that they need yet. They haven't gotten all the flavor that they got yet. So oftentimes when you eat tomatoes at a grocery store, it may not taste that flavorful because it had to be harvested like this.
So it's kind of like premature in a way.
It's premature, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it ripens as it's on its way, you know, to here. But it's not gaining any more nutrients. It's not really getting any more flavor in ripening on its way here. You want it to ripen here and then eat it. But it can't come from a whole other country from far off in order to do that.
That's why we got to start doing
You
it.
gotta start doing it. Have to.
I'm not sure who came up with fried green tomatoes, but
Yeah.
that's the way you can harvest some green tomatoes and eat it right now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So do you have to wash them before you eat them, or like how you go about it? You just
That's ideal.
yeah.
It's not obligated with tomatoes, but it never hurt to
For
give it
sure.
a rinse.
Yeah.
But when I'm on the farm, if I want a little cherry tomato, which I
Yeah.
can show you, I just grab it and eat it. We could do a taste test.
Yeah, I want to. Let's do it. After you, brother.
Appreciate you. It's a little jungle, so pardon.
Man, this is beautiful, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
There's like some of these poles that are sticking out.
Okay.
When I was talking about how I reached a point where I could tolerate eating tomatoes off the vine, this one is my favorite. It's called a black cherry tomato.
Okay.
And then behind you we have some sun gold cherry tomatoes, a real deep orange color. So if any of y'all want to do a taste test,
Yeah,
grab
I'll do
one.
one.
Hold on, young Will. Give me the camera, bro.
Okay.
Hey, give me the camera. I want you to try this one. I want you to try this one.
Toast to the cherries.
Okay.
Toast to the cherry.
Bismillah. Bro, these taste way better.
Try this one. That's that black cherry tomato.
Black cherry?
Yeah.
That joint
You can
busting.
snack
Yeah.
on these, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Y'all gotta get me out of here. I might eat the whole year. Bismillah.
Tomatoes require so much work compared to any other plant I've grown, because do you see how these are on the string with black clips?
Yeah.
For each one, you have to get on the ladder and hook the string up there to the wire up top. You have to do that for each one, every single tomato. And then as it grows, you're clipping each one, and as you're clipping, you're cutting off leaves that are diseased. You're cutting off something that's called a sucker, which is grown in between the main stem and the leaves, and that'll just cause the plant to weigh down, just makes it more heavy. It's okay to handle. It's not anything wrong with the tomato if it has suckers, but in this situation it's hard to manage, so we gotta prune that. So tomatoes, when you get a tomato on your dinner table, just know it was a lot of work going into taking care of that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't want to stray people away because they here working. You know, we in a generation where some people are lazy, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain where there's off seasons in farming? So you might have a long, hard 6 months, but you might have a smooth 6 months of no work just because of seasons.
Right. So that's the value of being able to convert what you grow in the summer into a product for the winter, because you're not outside doing work. So tomatoes, you harvesting from July, let's say, to September. If you know how to turn that tomato into tomato paste, tomato sauce, to salsa, you have a product that you could sell throughout the winter.
Absolutely.
So that's just the value of having various skill sets when it comes to agriculture, or knowing somebody with that type of skill set, so that in that off season, when you in the winter time, you're still able to generate income. You're not doing as much laborious tasks, but you're still able to take care of you and your family financially.
100%. So I want to do this a little different. Malik, what's a question you have for him?
What's the question I have? I would ask you, how would you say learning how to grow your own food changed you as a person?
How has it changed me as a person?
Yeah. Or not necessarily change, but let's say develop. How did it develop you as a person?
Okay. Could we do that out in the field? 'Cause
Absolutely.
I got a great example.
It's on.
So, Brother Malik, you want to ask your question again?
Yes, I would. So, question is, how would you say agriculture has, or learn how to grow your own food, has developed you as a person?
Through agriculture, one of my goals when I came here this year to manage this half-acre, honestly, I wanted to be able to extract spiritual and life lessons from the physical activity of agriculture. And 2 weeks ago, I was with a black farmer who's like a guide and a mentor for me. And he pointed out a big tree.
Yeah.
And he told his employees, he says, when you don't harvest the weed, when it's in its baby stage, it'll become these tall grasses that are much more difficult to manage. So that just taught me that when problems are minor in your life, you have to nip it in the bud early on. Because if you keep letting that problem pile on and pile on and pile on,
That's right.
it becomes a much more strenuous task. And I have a real world example with my car. I heard brake screeching 2 months ago. I said, oh, it's not that bad. I could fix this later. I could hold off on this. Come to find out, about 2 weeks ago, every time I get in my car, if I'm accelerating or braking, it's the worst scratching noise you could imagine. And it ended up being a $640 repair. But if I addressed that problem when it was a baby weed, when it was a minor screeching with the brakes, probably would have been $200-300. So that is the type of life lessons I want to extract as I'm out here on the farm.
Absolutely.
Realizing what can I take away. I don't want to just be doing the physical work and not walking away with nothing in terms of personal growth and development. So this lot, for example, if this weed, it didn't just magically drop here and get this big. It started off this size. It started off even tinier than that.
Wow.
So if you pull it when it's a baby, you don't have to deal with fighting and tugging it out to get it. Now you got to figure out, okay, what I'm going to do with this now. If you just pull it when it's a baby, it's a lot easier to manage.
And when it's like that, it starts producing seeds.
Yep.
So it makes even more problems.
Yeah.
So now it's spreading itself, and now you got a problem to deal with.
That's infectious now. Yeah. Absolutely. So what's the question you would ask him? He's thinking. Let him cook.
He's thinking. All right, 'cause I got more for you. I'll keep coming.
What are the stages you would take for a young brother like myself to acquire land and actually convert it into something useful for myself and the generations after me?
Beautiful, beautiful question. The main thing that I would tell a young brother that wants to start farming right now is get the skills first. So access to land for farmers, is something that, a lot of farmers struggle with, but if you have the skills and you know how to grow, and you can start that right now, regardless of where you are, regardless if you're in the city or you're in a rural community, you can start getting the skills to be able to grow. First get the skills and then get the land. So if you're in the city, or you're in the suburbs, you got a spot in your backyard, get some buckets, some food grade buckets, put some soil in them, drill a couple holes in the bottom of them, and start growing in those. If you got a little bit more space, start in a raised bed in your home. Plant a couple of seeds and get started there, because the same principles that apply on a small scale will apply on a larger scale when you get more land. Now, once you get the skills, once you feel like you're starting to learn a bit, get with a farmer. Because there's a difference between gardening and farming. Gardening is, you're growing in your backyard, you're growing a little bit of food. But farming, there's a whole business to it. There's a whole business to it, to growing a surplus and methods that you need to know, and figuring out how you need to store things properly, how you need to market it, how you need to set up relationships with different restaurants. And you can learn that by working under a farmer. I learned from working under a farmer. Aziz learned from working under a farmer. Now that once you have that skill set, everywhere that you look at land, you're looking at a potential business opportunity. So there's homeowners with a lot of land that they got to cut, that they don't want to have to cut. You can lease that land from them. You can pool your resources with other brothers and then buy the land. Or brothers or sisters, I should say, and buy the land and get access that way. Or, there's different grants and different loans that you can go through to get access to the land. But if you don't have the skills to make the land productive and you have land, all you have is a tax bill.
Facts.
That's all you got.
Facts. I ain't gonna lie, that's real.
Skill development. For us in Chicago, any major city you in, there are urban farms popping up every year.
That's right.
Associated with schools, associated with churches, on nonprofit organizations. So if you just do a quick Google search, Chicago urban farms, you could find people to volunteer with.
That's right.
To start getting that skill set.
100%.
And trust me, they will welcome that help with open arms. For today, we're going to harvest some okra and bell peppers. So for somebody who never known how to harvest an okra or bell pepper from watching this video, you may see, okay, when I do my own okra and bell pepper plants, I know how to harvest it now. Or if you come and volunteer, you can learn
Yeah.
real life.
So where can they volunteer at? Let them know.
So there's spots this is a little ways out of the city. I'd recommend, there's a couple of organizations. If you're in the Chicagoland area, if you're not in the Chicagoland area, do what Aziz said, put in your city, urban farm. If you're in the Chicagoland area, Urban Growers Collective. Fantastic. That's why I learned, I did the apprenticeship through that program. There's Growing Home. That's pretty big. It does a great job. What a couple other ones?
And then for me, 2 places I worked at and interned with. One is Garfield Park Community Council. They have a community garden. And then recently, I've been working with Stein Learning Gardens at St. Sabina, right on 79th and Racine in Auburn Gresham.
Absolutely. You just gave an out west location and an out south location, so there's no excuses, y'all.
No excuses.
So these are our okra plants right here.
Wow, so that's what the okra looks like at first.
Yeah. It's a real beautiful flower too. Okra is one of the easiest plants for me to grow, honestly. Easy peasy.
Okay.
Snip it, throw it in the bucket.
You got another knife?
I do.
Alright. This one's huge.
Yeah. They say the larger they are, the more tougher they are to consume.
Yeah.
So getting them when they're between 3 inches to 6 inches is the most ideal size for your okra.
Absolutely.
But when they're that big, you can still eat it, make something work with it.
Yeah, this one's too big. So for those of you that grow for the first time, and you're like, I grew zucchini, I grew okra, and it's really big, you gotta get it earlier. You gotta get it earlier. Because on a lot of plants, the seed, it gets tougher, the seeds get bigger, and it's not as edible.
Absolutely.
It's not as edible.
So these are a little bit on the smaller scale, but these are good sizes you want for your okra. And in terms of diversity I was talking about, some people never knew it was red okra.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Some people never knew it was green tomatoes that are actually ripe. You have orange tomatoes. You have so much different varieties when you work at a community garden or on a sustainable farm that's not just doing the conventional method.
Absolutely.
And then behind us, we got the bell peppers.
Okay.
And as I was saying, we can't cut corners, so some of our crops, they gonna fall victim to diseases.
Yeah.
And you lose out. So that's why with bell peppers, most people harvest them when they're green. When they're green, they turn red through a chemical called a carotenoid. The carotenoid carries the antioxidants in it, but sometimes before it even could fully turn red, it's already overcome by pest pressure or disease. So oftentimes, a lot of farmers, they just harvest them when they're green to avoid having to deal with losing their crops to different diseases and animals.
Wow.
But those some good ones right there.
Yeah. So them all the way done.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. And usually too, I just dropped it. So when you're doing, there's a whole system that's called good agricultural practices. Typically what would happen is if you just drop it, you wouldn't harvest it to sell afterwards. But I know a lot of people feel like that's wasteful. And it kind of is, I get it. But if you instill in the mind of everybody that's working on the farm that you don't drop food, you just drop less food.
Facts.
You just drop less food. So just get that in everybody's mind early on that you don't drop food. If it's dropped, it's wasted, and then now you won't drop it as much.
Yeah,
But
you take better care.
Yeah, you take better care of it. You take better care of it. But yeah, that's called good agricultural practice, and that's something that goes into the importance of learning from a farmer, somebody that does it as a business.
Absolutely.
Because you'll get all these different practices and different methods and things that we should do from learning from a farmer. So.
Yep. And these bell peppers, these two that we have in our hand are the exact same variety, the exact same plant.
Different shapes.
It's actually this one that I was saving the seeds from earlier. The exact same California Wonder bell pepper. But the bell peppers, like I said, just go through a process where they turn from green to orange or green to yellow or green to red.
Wow. And they all have a different taste that way, or?
The taste is the taste is slightly different, but more importantly, the nutrition content is different. So the bell peppers that are red carry more antioxidants than the ones that are green. And they carry more vitamin C content
Absolutely.
than the immature green plants or the immature green fruit.
For sure.
So we got some okra, bell pepper, tomatoes. What could we cook up with this, young Will?
Some soup, for real.
Hey.
Or like a little, I don't know, a lot of things, for real. Okra, bell pepper, tomatoes.
This could be our dinner for tonight.
Yeah.
For the next 2 days.
Look.
Yeah.
Chop it up, put it in a pan, saute it, a little bit of onions in there, get some tortillas, throw some eggs.
Oh yeah, you can do a lot.
Come on now.
I want to
burrito.
introduce y'all to the farm manager real quick.
Yes, sir.
It's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to tell them what you all are doing out here?
Yeah, sure. So this is our fall season block. And so we plant usually like cool season crops in the early spring and then like, late July. And so these beds were run hose between rows. It's really hard to see them, but they're little rows of baby carrots here. And so this first weeding is kind of the most important to make sure that you actually get carrots, because carrots are terrible at competing with stuff. So, and we plant a lot of storage crops in here. We're primarily providing food for the dining halls here on campus. So storage crops like carrots, beets, cabbage are all things that we can harvest in the fall and have all winter long. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we're just doing some weed control, and hopefully we get ahead of them now. They don't look that scary now, but that's the time to take care of them.
Yeah, that's what you. Yeah.
As you were saying,
When it's a baby, you at least got a chance.
Exactly. Yeah, because some of these grasses will come back, but if you can take care of 85% of them or something like that, even you'll have much better sights.
From this angle, excuse me, you can see. Do you see like where the rows of carrots are?
Yeah.
Rows?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see how he cleared up this patch and then further down, it gets harder to see those carrot rows. So that's when you got to do the hand weeding or weeding with a tool.
Wow.
These are all diligent tasks you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and timing is always the most important thing in farming, is catching the windows where things, and it's hard to do when you're doing all the things, but yeah.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you all.
Yes, indeed.
Have a good day.
You too.
So you know how you spoke on farmers being humble, right? So what about farming makes you humble?
You connecting with the earth at its lowest frequency, and it's quiet out here, really calm and relaxing. It's hard to be arrogant when you're in a peaceful environment. Who can you brag to out here?
Facts.
You're just dealing with plants and trees and animals. You seeing the cycles of life, and it makes you just want to participate. It makes you want to intertwine yourself and be on an equal platform with God's creation,
100%.
rather than making yourself seem like you superior and got a false sense of arrogance over what he created. Because honestly, I need these plants for my nutrition. It's not like I'm greater than them if they serve me, and then they need me to cultivate them so that they can reach maturity and produce seeds. And then when we save seeds, we can continue their life on the next generation.
Absolutely.
So it's an equal playing field when you're out here on the farm with the soil, with the water, with the sunlight, with the insects and the birds. So it's an equal playing field.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
Yep. Here go the examples of the fruits we was talking about.
Okay.
Raspberries.
So them ready or nah?
Yeah, he's right now.
You gotta know how to pick them.
Yeah, you gotta be real delicate with the rat. Look, look. You gotta give me the camera again.
All right.
You gotta give me the camera again, cause
It look good on the camera?
yeah, it's good.
Alright.
It's a raspberry. Look, a raspberry straight from the bush. Go ahead, bro.
Straight from the bush. Taste test right now.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, no.
Nah,
What that is?
let's not get you that one.
Yeah, all right, let's get you. Homie, go get you another one. Get you another one. Oh,
And when you wanna grab it,
Oh, yeah, of course. Hey, y'all, I'm grabbing a raspberry, y'all.
easy peasy.
Man, that tastes like some lemonade. Man. Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
10 out of 10, y'all.
Here you got it. Blackberries.
Wow. Them real blackberries.
Whenever I eat these blackberries, they be real sour and bitter. So I may have just called it too early in the season, but these producing well. So I'm gonna try my luck today. See what I can get.
Try it with
The softer it is, the easier it is to come off the plant. Then the more fruitful and sweet it'll be. So that came off real easy. I didn't have to tug at it.
Wow.
So I got high hopes for this one.
Oh yeah.
They good?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's a little tart, but I could tolerate it.
And this corn right here? Or?
No, I don't know what that is, but it's used to attract birds.
Oh,
So
okay.
it just creates a habitat for the birds.
Wow.
Yep. And it's also called a windbreak. So on days when it's really windy,
Yeah.
that is like a buffer. Those tall grasses act as a buffer. So if you have smaller, delicate crops, if a heavy wind, it can knock those plants over.
Oh, wow.
But this big, tall grass, it slows down the speed that the wind is traveling at. And then you hear the birds, they stay home.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to add too about humility is farming is gonna humble you. It's gonna humble you because it forces you to interact with nature, and you're gonna have trials just in doing it. You're gonna have to deal with weeds. You're gonna have to deal with pests. You're gonna have to deal with, the things that come along in nature. And I think sometimes being separated from nature, we can kind of forget that like we depend upon this to survive. We depend upon nature. We depend upon the weather. We depend upon like what God has given us. And farming is a way to just jump right into that as a reminder and get into it. Because, you know, in the city, it's like, okay, I can go to the grocery store, I turn on the tap and the water comes out. I flip a switch and the light comes on. And it can almost feel as if, you know, you're separated from what Allah has created, with, you know, what's set up here. And farming will remind you.
Can I prove even through language how working with the earth is connected to humility? Humility. So this is the etymology dictionary. It gives you the origin of words.
Yes,
through
sir.
time. I typed in the word humble.
Yeah.
So it says submissive, respectful, lowly in manner, modest, not self-asserting, obedient, right? If we travel down, it comes from a Latin word, humilis, lowly, humble, literally on the ground. Then it says from humus, which means earth.
Yeah.
From pyroot,
Break it down,
I don't even know how to say that one, but earth. So
Wow.
the word humble was literally, through the languages in the past, it was initially the word earth in Latin, and then in modern America, they use the word humble to represent something that's grounded or
Wow.
connected to the earth. So that's why when somebody is humble, they say that's a grounded individual. Because if you the opposite, you arrogant, your head in the sky. That's the opposite of humility.
Wow, and we spoke on like people heads are in the sky now and they ain't even worried about what's going on right here.
What's going on right underneath their feet.
Wow.
You know?
That's the whole concept of a mystery God. When you looking and you got your head in the sky for something that's above and beyond, and then right on this earth playing field, we neglecting what we have here. This is our home. Everything we need, all the necessities we need come from the earth. Food, clothing, shelter. And if we are occupied with a heaven beyond the clouds and not trying to cultivate the land and the ground that we're walking on, we missing the opportunity to satisfy our own needs and wants, and then take care of our people down the road.
Wow.
That's why these countries, they go to war to take people land.
That's right.
They want territory, they want to expand, they want that earth because they know what can be produced from it. But it doesn't even take all that violence and greed. You see how peaceful it is on this property. We're not competing with each other. I'm not telling Matt, man, I'm a step on his cabbage so he don't get no sales. It's not that type of environment. So I'm just grateful to be out here, have brothers like Malik alongside the journey with me.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So is there anything else we got to touch today, or?
We just gonna drive back up.
Yes, sir.
Show y'all the greenhouse, and we gonna buy some watermelons and hit the road.
I said, so there's two sides here. There's like the more conventional path to growing, and then there's the more I would say current, up to date form of agriculture. And I know some people are gonna feel like, what? How's it current, up to date? I think right now, the conventional soybean corn form of agriculture is getting smashed by the international markets. You know,
Wow.
Trump has put in all these tariffs, and one of the main things that countries respond with when you put a tariff on them is agricultural tariffs. And the reason is because you can get soybean from so many different countries. I might as well just hit you with that first. So the farms that are growing the soybean, the corn, they're heavily dependent upon what's going on in China.
Wow.
Heavily dependent upon what's going on in Russia, even though they're right in your local community. But instead of being worried about what's going on afar off in these other countries, we could focus on a different form of agriculture and grow food here that the people are going to eat here, and stop importing all of these other foods from other places.
Facts.
But we have to change the way that we think about agriculture. We have to change the way that we grow, and we have to be conscious about training people to grow on this level locally for people in the community, so that we can eat without having to bring in food from elsewhere.
Yes, indeed. So politics don't necessarily have to play a role on how we farm then.
Nope.
Absolutely.
Nope. When I grow my food, I can look at it and be like, yeah, my brother, my sister's gonna eat this.
100%.
Yeah, I feel good about the fact that I stewarded it and I took care of it, and I know that they're getting the best of the best. Like when we brought the tomatoes, the needles, I put the tomatoes down, they started slicing them up, putting them on the burgers and roasting them, bro. That felt so good.
And you seen exactly where the tomatoes came from.
That felt
Wow.
so good, man. That felt so good. Because it's like, man, I know they're not getting any pesticides in this. They're not getting, this is organic. There's no GMOs. So it's like, it's nourishing their bodies, bro. That felt good.
Absolutely. Blessing is blessing others, you know?
Yes, sir.
So where we at now?
We inside the greenhouse.
Okay.
So greenhouse is used early in the season to start your plants. You got the trays with soil, throw the seeds in there, and then it gives the young plants an environment to be able to grow without having to deal with insects, without having to deal with heavy nature elements, and then you transplant them outside into the field. But the greenhouse space can also be used to do experiments if you want to grow crops. So they growing cucumbers right inside the greenhouse.
Wow.
And we was talking about how if you got any type of construction skills and know somebody in your family who can build just a basic wooden raised bed.
So everybody got a role.
Everybody got a role. Build a raised bed, dump some soil in there, and you can grow some stuff right in your backyard. You can make this whatever size accommodates your backyard. This is called a raised bed.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Also in the greenhouse, after we harvest the onions
Yeah.
and the squash, we let them dry in here. So it's called curing. It is what creates like a shell for the onion, and it is responsible for its long shelf life.
Oh, okay, okay.
Now I'm gonna show you how you would process one of the onions. So
Dang.
this table is what we planted with John Farms. So I'm gonna pick just a nice sized onion. You see, when it was growing, it was green and luscious.
Yeah.
It's been about 4 weeks since we harvested
You
this.
said how long? 4 weeks?
4 weeks.
Okay.
It's been on this table sitting, curing. So now I know it's ready because I don't see any life. There's no green. There's no signs of life. So it's fully cured at this point. I just chop off the plant material, and then you can honestly sell it as this, but if you want, you could just take off some of the outer layers, brush off some of the dirt. You got you an onion. And so you gotta do that for each and every one of these onions. So this is a part of, this is the working hard part, not working smart. I don't know if it's any automated way you could do this, but each and every onion you gotta come, chop it.
But see, that gives somebody else a role who doesn't know how to grow. They could do this part, you know?
They can do this part. And this is the processing step. So it comes out of the field. There's a process to make it ready to be consumed or ready to be sold. And that's this step here. So there's some people that's like, man, I like being on a farm, but I'm really not trying to be out there in that field like that. Okay. There's another thing that you can do, and then you can keep records on what we have and when things are ready. Some people like that type of work. There's space for that. There's some people, after you get it like this, nobody knows that we have this.
Facts.
So there's some people that gotta go out, you know, got the gift of gab, talk to different restaurants, talk to people at the markets to get them to buy this. And then we getting ready to do the last step. We got produce that we need to bring up. We about to do the distribution and take it from here, because now it's ready to go. We got people that want to buy it, but we got to go get it to them.
Yep, so we need people that like to drive, like to, all that. Truck drivers, all that.
Sell a product, everything.
All of that. There's something for everybody in agriculture.
Farm is first, but it ain't last.
Wait, say that again?
Farm is first, but it's not last.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
a lot of steps before you actually sell a product and make it useful.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna take these home with us if y'all want some onions for y'all family.
Okay.
I got a lot of onions.
I'll take one.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab one for my mom.
Thank you. So I got one last question for you, brother.
Yes, sir.
You know you got that hat on, right?
Yes, sir.
So what does unity mean to you?
Pulling from a farm perspective, it means pulling all parties together for one end goal. So you got your 4 elements. You got air, you got water, you got the earth, and you got sun.
Okay.
Those 4 elements have to be unified to create an end product, whatever plant you're growing. There's a balance between the earth, between the air, between the soil, between the water and the sunlight to create an end product. If you get too much sun, you're gonna dry out and kill your plants. But if those elements are unified, if they know how to work together in harmony, then you can walk away with a successful, mature product that you can use for your benefit in the future.
Absolutely. So what does it mean as a nation perspective, brother?
Unifying all of our skills, coming together, that no matter what race you are, what religion, we all got the same basic necessities. That's food, clothing, and shelter.
Yes,
and we
sir.
are seeing that how we can produce the food. So if we unify with each other, we can be able to feed ourselves and do it in a healthy manner. A lot of people around the world have illnesses, I personally got illnesses, asthma, allergies. I fall victim. I got a bad sugar tooth. So these foods and these herbs and these plants can also be our form of healing. So
100%.
once we unify, know how to grow it, process it, sell it, and have people who are scientists know how to use it to cure different ailments. They say onion and garlic, you can make a whole lot of remedies from these.
Yeah.
You can soak onions and garlic and honey for 4 weeks, come up with a little concoction that can help you do cold season and flu season. So unifying our skill sets, no matter where we're from, we got these same basic necessities.
Absolutely. And who you shooting with, family?
Young Will, out of the trenches.
And let them know who I got again so they can find y'all.
Your brother, Malik and Katha. Catch me on Instagram, Malik_and Nazeez.
Yes, sir. On Instagram, Aziz, ZEEZ01. And then with the Nation of Islam, I was telling them how we got farms down in Georgia.
Yeah.
We got 1,600 acres in Georgia. I went down to work there last November. I was going to volunteer, honestly, just to get a feel for what it's like to farm on something that big. This is 6 acres. That's 1,600 acres. And Dr. Ridgely, who's the farm manager there, he has to deal with things on a level we can't even imagine. Right. Being in such a rural area, you got to be your own repair person if a tractor break down. You're dealing with deers eating up your crops. So there's a way to donate to them. It's called the 3-year economic program. You could send a check or money order to 4855 South Woodlawn Avenue if you want to contribute to that farm, and then being able for us to process it and get it to our people in America without any of the chemicals that they put on in our food nowadays.
Yes, indeed. So donated to them is donated to yourself, man. So go do that.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Cause Young Will.
Is it an exotic word for doing this, or is it just cutting off the plant?
Harvester. But you want to do it. You want to do it a little bit higher, so that you can leave. So just get that a little higher, a little higher. You want to leave a little bit of the stem, so it looks like this.
Okay.
Yeah. Make sure you don't cut that. Yeah. There you go.
Very cool. Hey, cutting that off ain't as easy as it seems, y'all. It's a technique to it, man. Yeah.
We're loading up some produce, so we have some bags that we're going to be selling at our market on Sunday. It's already pre-made bags. Got garlic, onion, tomatoes, and pepper in them.
Yeah.
6 Roma tomatoes, 2 yellow onions,
Absolutely.
2 green bell peppers, and 1 garlic.
Yeah.
We're gonna load these up and then get a couple more things. Load those up as well.
Absolutely.
Bring them back on down. Store them in the cooler.
Bring it back to the people.
Ready.
Yeah.
Ready.
Flip it, they'll be able to stack.
We need people to do this too. Strong people, you hear me? It's a role for everybody.
Man, working on the farm, I say this would be my workout.
No, for real.
I literally canceled my gym membership when I started working here after a month. I'm like, I'm getting my sweat in here.
Yeah. Don't need you walking, lifting, standing, bending. You're pretty much getting everything that you need right here on the land.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Those from John Farms that we harvested. So you can see the variety. You got tomatoes that look like an apple. You got this yellow variety of tomato. You got these nice beefy tomatoes. And then you got your Roma tomatoes.
Wow.
And then you see the students, they grow even more beautiful varieties.
Yeah. It's like a Cherokee, the purple.
You got a rainbow just from tomato plants.
Wow.
From the Cherokee. So we gotta find sales outlets for these tomatoes as well. This will be good for a restaurant.
We need tomatoes. We got them.
We got them.
Something like that.
Rush them.
This is our bin as well. I'm gonna bring some okra back to sell. Y'all family cook eggplant or anything? Not really. Yeah, this was the farm manager Matt. Him and his interns grow the watermelon.
Yeah.
He giving us a wholesale price, so we're gonna buy some and sell them at the mosque this Sunday.
Absolutely.
The thing is, we gotta
Weigh it, right?
yeah. Let's go.
Look! This is the eye of the trenches.
History tells you that famines, they call them nation breakers. Food is the strongest urge that we have as a human being. The one thing that everybody in your economic system is gonna do is eat. Without producing your own food, it's like trying to fill up a bucket with a hole in the bucket. They paint this image as if the people on food stamps are lazy, they don't wanna work. Like, you got single mothers with children that work every single day, and she's working, she's grinding, she's putting in the time, but she doesn't necessarily make enough. The grocery store has a certain margin that it needs to make.
Okay.
And a lot of the money that's made at these grocery stores comes from people who have food stamps, you know, who have WIC, who have Link, you know, if you're in Illinois. If they're no longer getting that money, they have to make it up somewhere. So if I'm a grocery store owner, I'm not just gonna go in the negative, I'm gonna raise price because there's been such an abundance of food. But if food is scarce, we're gonna see that side of the human being, and that side is not pretty. You can go run down the history. There's a certain level of satisfaction that comes from growing something and then eating what you grow. And everybody needs to experience it. Brown is carbon, green is nitrogen.
Okay.
So you can begin to take all of the plants that are no longer growing and produce compost.
You name your chickens or no?
Chicken leg, chicken thigh, chicken breast.
What you say? You said this one of the last things of the season?
Yep. Last harvest of the season. Except garlic. I just planted garlic, and that stays in the ground all the way up until the season. There's certain foods that we're not supposed to eat. If you're eating certain processed foods and they have chemicals in them, we can't think that if my mind is electricity and chemistry, that the chemistry that I've introduced into my body isn't impacting the way that I think. The main thing that brings a nation down is the destruction of the education system. So all of the things that we're seeing now, at the root of that is the destruction of the schools. We've been, you know, robbed of our language, culture, religion, our God. We fought in every single major war that the United States has had, and we've been here. We worked, we built this country.
So what's the solution for us, for our people?
Do for self.
Do for self.
Do for self. You gotta do all that you can to bring out what God put within you. And you gotta
100%.
mine it out. And that's what education is. There is no master in anything who is poor. Now the reason for that is because when you master your discipline, there are always those who are willing to pay you for what you know. This is what gives us the ability to be free. If we stop thinking about the enemy all day and night, he would cease to exist.
Absolutely.
And if we focus on the betterment of ourselves, we'll get the betterment of our community.
Look! This is the eye of the trenches.
Man, we here at Torchlight Farms. I'm here with the eye of the trenches.
Yes, sir. This part 3, right?
Part 3.
So if this their first time watching, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Malik Nkatha. I'm your brother, member of the Unity Movement, urban farmer, interested in working to make our place a safe and decent place to live, whether that's safety-wise, food security-wise, education-wise. You know, we need it all.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So I want to start this off different. What made you smile like that today?
What made me smile like that? Man, I was roughhousing with my son. I finished working, came in, he said, Dad, can we roughhouse? And we roughhouse, man. And it's those little things that are needed. You know, they create memories. But yeah, off the top of my head, that's the main thing.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So what I want to speak upon today, and what we're going to speak upon today, was watching the weather, the fall of America and the economy, plus the food crisis. What is the solution? How to grow to live, what to grow versus what not to grow, what season we are in, and how food relates to depression.
Oh, wow.
So
We going through the, okay, let's go.
yes, sir. So how would you like to start it?
Anywhere. We can take this anywhere. Let it flow naturally.
Matter of fact, we could start off with the weather.
With the weather.
Yes, sir. So why should we watch the weather in this time period?
So we gotta watch the weather because we have to approach it from a scriptural, spiritual standpoint, right? God got his hands on the weather.
Yeah.
So if we want to understand or get an idea of how God is moving, we have to keep our eyes on the weather, especially right now, because this is the tool, one of the tools that God uses. So one of the major things that's happening right now is, you know, the hurricane in Jamaica. Prayers go out to our family, you know, in Jamaica. And we can't think that the things we see afar off aren't coming abroad. We can't
100%.
think that just because something is happening in the Caribbean, or just because something is happening in South America, just because something is happening in Africa, that the same thing can't happen here. We've had many different occasions where natural disasters, have hit the United States. So it's important that we get prepared. It's important that we're not oblivious and that we're paying attention and we understand what season of weather that we're in. If you're in a hot place, you understand that you have, droughts and that you have heat waves. If you're down south, you understand that you have hurricanes. So if you're over east or in the Midwest, we know that we have snow. So we can't be oblivious to the weather and not prepare ourselves for the times that we're going into. And here, to be honest, with the way the weather's hitting nowadays, it feels like we almost need to be prepared for anything.
100%.
Yeah, because anything could be coming our way.
So what's the first step to preparing yourself, you think?
The first step to preparedness is it always starts with the mind.
100%.
Always starts with the mind, getting the mind right. So understanding why it's important to prepare. When you look at everything in nature, everything prepares for the season. Even those that don't seem as if they're preparing. Like if you've heard the story of the ant and the grasshopper.
Absolutely.
Right? The ant goes and it forages and it stores up food so that it can survive the winter. But at the end of the winter, the grasshopper frees off and it dies. But the grasshopper has still laid eggs.
Wow.
So that it can procreate, so that you see grasshoppers again the next season. So in that is a principle, but underneath that, you see everything in nature is doing everything that it needs to do to ensure that it continues on and that it continues to procreate and live. So we as human beings, we have to do the same thing.
100%.
We have to do the same thing, and it starts with getting our mind right to make sure that when these disasters come in, that we're prepared. We have food stored up in our homes, right? We have access to clean drinking water. Two major. We have a place of shelter, extra heating.
100%.
When these things happen and when they come.
Yes, indeed. So you spoke on the mind, right? So you are a farmer. You growing, what is it, organic food? How do you call it?
Organic, yeah.
Yes,
that's
sir.
a good word.
So we know food can cause depression, or it has like a relationship, right?
Right.
So can you break that down?
So the foods that we eat, especially if they're processed, they have chemicals in them. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught us that the mind is electricity and chemistry.
Yes,
These
sir.
are the things that fire off thought and get us thinking. So if you're eating certain processed foods and they have chemicals in them, we can't think that if my mind is electricity and chemistry, that the chemistry that I've introduced into my body isn't impacting the way that I think. So we've all felt it. There's certain foods that we eat and we get sleepy. There's
Yes,
certain
sir.
foods that we eat and we get excited. There's certain foods that we could eat and it actually makes us anxious or we break out in hives or rashes. Our body responds to the things that we're eating. So there are certain foods that can cause depression if we continue to eat them, because we have this system in our body called the endocrine system that's responsible for making hormones and regulating hormones in the body. But if you're introducing these chemicals into the body consistently, the endocrine system is constantly trying to balance all of the hormones in the body. And until we stop introducing these foods into the body isn't able to balance itself.
100%.
So that's why we're taught to fast.
Yes, sir.
That fast. And I'd say that's the cure for being able to control that urge. And that's what we're taught. You should read How to Eat to Live by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That book right there will teach you what to eat, how to eat, what times to eat. And if you're struggling with weight gain or with depression, eating when you're depressed, that book will set you on the right path to get you where you want to be.
So how long has that book been around?
Since the teaching in the book has been around since 1930.
So almost 100 years.
Yeah, almost 100 years. Wow, yeah.
So fasting has became new, like, as a trend now, would you say?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I say people should go to the source of that book. Wouldn't you say?
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. Because as people, begin to get introduced to a thing and they start getting certain ideas, they want to take a piece.
100%.
They want to take I like this part, so I'm gonna teach on this part. I like this part. Get the whole thing.
Nah, for sure.
You gotta get the whole thing, because if you get a part of it, you could be doing well in this area, but you're missing the whole picture.
100%.
So it's how to eat to live. There's certain foods that we're not supposed to eat. A lot of people eat nuts. The body's not made to eat nuts.
Wow.
We're not taught to eat any nuts, even though that's spread as a healthy food. But in How to Eat to Live, we're taught not to eat nuts because of how hard it is on the digestive system. It's very hard on the digestive system. And it takes a certain animal that has a certain type of stomach to break down nuts.
Wow.
So in that book, you're gonna learn how to fast. You're gonna learn what foods to eat, what not foods to eat. And by the grace of Allah, you know, I've been striving. My good days, I have my bad days, but I've been striving to follow how to eat to live, you know, for the last 8 years since I've been registered. And it's done me well. It's done me well, done my family well, done those I know who follow it well. That's 100%.
And it'll do you well if you watch it.
Yeah, and it'll do you well.
So that being said, what should we grow to live?
Grow to live. So the main thing I would say, because if I give out specific things, everybody doesn't necessarily eat the same thing.
100%.
So I'd say start with growing what you eat.
Yeah.
Now, don't do pork. Don't do the pig. No pig, all right? But there's a certain level of satisfaction that comes from growing something and then eating what you grow. And everybody needs to experience that.
Wow.
So what makes you excited? You know, what makes you excited to grow? Is it peppers? Is it tomatoes? You like a salad? Is it lettuce? You know, grow that thing.
100%.
You know, in the right season. Learn when to plant it. You know, you don't want to plant a tomato plant in December. So learn the time to plant it and harvest it, cultivate it, and then eat it. Get that feeling.
Absolutely.
Get what that feeling is like. You know, this is something that human beings have been doing since the beginning. And a lot of us, because of, you know, we live in cities, we've never grown anything, we've never really felt that feeling. We've never really felt that feeling. And I remember how I felt when we were on the back porch on the west side of Chicago. I had two plants. I had a pepper plant and tomato plant. And we pulled the pepper plants, I chopped them up and brought them in the house and ate them. And that's what got me hooked.
Wow.
On agriculture. That's what got me hooked. This is one of my favorite parts of the end of the growing season. So when you're making compost, brown is carbon, green is nitrogen.
Okay.
So you can begin to take all of the plants that are no longer growing and produce compost.
Okay. Wow.
Right here in this pile, you can start producing compost. So I'm going to be making the compost real soon, and that's the same compost put out there to refresh the beds.
So it all like restores itself.
All recycles. All recycles, man. Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, nothing goes to waste. Nothing goes
100%.
away. Even the leaves, raking the leaves, bringing that in, putting that a part of the pile to make the compost.
Okay, so wow. You still got the chickens?
Yeah, they still here. They all roosting now though.
Oh, okay.
But you can, hold on. Y'all roosting.
You name your chickens or no?
Chicken leg, chicken thigh, chicken breast.
What you say? You say chicken leg?
Chicken leg, chicken thigh, chicken breast.
Fried
wing.
chicken, baked chicken, grilled.
Grilled chicken.
Yes, sir.
Fried chicken. Nah, we don't fry it. But.
Nah, I know. I'm just trolling. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
So these still edible to eat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I got we got a harvest we did this morning.
Oh, dang.
In black soap. My wife pulled out a lot of them. But, yeah, you harvest everything that's left.
Oh, wow.
Yep. We got a lot of green tomatoes. So we're gonna make fried green tomatoes out of the green tomatoes.
Oh.
You can let them ripen. Peppers. A lot of the red ones and the cherry tomatoes got picked out, but there's a whole lot more in that hoop house. And then we got carrots too. Well, a lot of carrots. Hold on. So when you harvest the carrots, because they're root crops, I'm gonna grab this pitchfork.
All right.
You gotta go down and fork them out.
Oh, yeah, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Great work, though.
Come on. Yeah, you gotta hit the gym anyway.
Yeah.
You gotta hit the gym anyway.
100%.
Like why not make the farm my gym?
You say make the farm your gym?
Make the farm your gym. You know, build muscle, grow food, build endurance, all of that. So you get on the side of it.
Okay.
Like this. Fork down. Fork it up.
Dang.
Fork it up. So here, pull these up. See how these look. See, they got carrots.
Wow, those all carrots.
All
Wow.
carrots. I rinse them off, wash them off,
Mm-hmm.
bring them in the house, cook them and eat them.
Okay, okay. Dang. Hey, y'all just got that for the free 99. How to do that, y'all, man. Don't get better than that, you know?
Right. When you stick the fork in, you got to be careful. You don't scrape them. You don't want to stab them.
Oh, okay. Like, what would that do?
You just, wouldn't be as edible.
Oh, okay.
Striking them with the fork, they're not gonna last as long. As soon as they have a blemish or a cut or something like that, they're not gonna last nearly as long.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You said this one of the last things of the season?
Yep. The last harvest of the season. Except garlic. I just planted garlic, and that stays in the ground all the way up until the summer.
Oh, wow.
Next year.
So you plant garlic during this time and then, okay.
Yep.
Learn something new every day, you hear me?
Every day. And it's seeing that, it's like, man, I can grow it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to put in some work. Everything of value requires that you put in some work,
Mm-hmm.
but I can put in some work and I can reap the benefits from it,
100%.
So,
I want to ask you this. So, we've been having a lot of success this summer by the grace of Allah, right?
praise be to Allah. Yeah.
So, what's the biggest lesson you learned in the success? Because you can learn from winning.
Yeah, the biggest lesson, and it's a lesson I'm gonna just keep on learning, and it's the importance of staying humble.
Wow.
The importance of staying humble, man, in doing this work and working in the community and connecting with people. You never know who God is going to use to open up certain doors for you,
Mm-hmm.
or to allow you to get somewhere that you wouldn't be able to get as an individual on your own.
100%.
And if we're boastful and we move about the earth in arrogance and we don't walk the earth in humility, God's going to close those doors. He's going to close those doors and close those opportunities. So it's like, yeah, we're winning, but humility, one, allows me in particular not to get too carried away. And it allows me to see the value in everybody.
100%.
In everybody, We're taught, when you hear a person talk, listen for God and what they're saying. We should be listening for God instead of listening for like a way to argue. And it's tough to do that if we're not humble.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it's
So,
tough to do that.
This is another point. We're in a country, right, that's
Yeah.
not so humble, right?
Yeah.
Would you say?
I would say that.
Yes, sir.
Say
So,
that.
would you speak on the fall of America due to the food crisis, the economy, and so on, bro?
So, one, the fall of America is that if you read the Bible, that mystery Babylon that's in the book of Revelation, and it's spoken about. So in America, nations don't fall all of a sudden. Like when we watch movies, it's like somebody wakes up in the morning, they hit their alarm clock and they look up and it's just everything's falling to pieces. But the nations fall gradually. Gradually, there's certain afflictions that are brought on the nation, and it starts to bring that nation down. Now, the main thing that brings a nation down is the destruction of the educational system.
Wow.
So all of the things that we're seeing now, at the root of that is the destruction of the schools.
Wow.
It's the destruction of the schools. When you don't have an educated population, when you don't have a population that feels as if they can fully manifest their God-given abilities through education. The root word of educate is educo, and the Latin meaning of it is to draw out what's within.
Wow.
That's what our education is supposed to be doing. So the way the system is made now to teach to a test, to require you to get the right answer, to make you afraid to make mistakes. How am I going to be everything that God made me to be if I'm afraid to make a mistake?
Wow.
How? But we're trained and we're drilled and we're grilled for years. Given a bad grade if you make a mistake. You don't make any mistakes on this test. So that right there is the main thing that needs to be rectified if America's going to be saved. That educational system. And America has to do justice by us as a people. Our people, we've been robbed of our language, culture, religion, our God. We fought in every single major war that the United States has had, and we've been here. We worked. We built this country. But we haven't been. They haven't done justice by us. So for that reason, due to the law of justice, that the universe is set up on, America has to fall.
Wow.
It has to fall.
So is that fall happening now?
It's happening now.
Yes,
It's
sir.
happening now. But like I said, it's a gradual fall.
Mhm.
So you see the destruction of the educational system. You see the destruction of the food system, right? Because nations are upheld by systems. There's systems, there's ways of doing things, and when you start to break down those systems and they don't fulfill what they're supposed to fulfill, you have to deal with the consequences that come with that.
Wow.
You know, and we're feeling that now. We're feeling that now. You know, a bad educational system, I mean, if you don't have good people, what do you have? What do you have?
Nothing.
You have nothing.
100%.
Nothing. You know, and if you don't have, and if the people don't feel as if this nation has their best interests at heart, why do I have to, there's no, I'm not going to be a patriot. You know, I'm not going to want to give my all for this nation if I don't feel like I can fully manifest my God-given abilities in the nation.
100%.
So that educational system, that's key. That's key, brother. That's
Yeah.
key right there. You know, and there's another book. You always come with the book recommendations.
Yes, sir.
Torchlight for America.
Say that again.
Torchlight for America.
Okay.
That's a book. You can get it at finalcall.com, and it talks about all of these different things that are going wrong in America. But not only that, but solutions. Because we got to deal with solutions
Absolutely.
at the same time. So
Facts. So what's the solution for us, for our people?
do for self.
Do for self.
Do for self. Oh, do for self as a consequence. So education-wise, me and my wife, we homeschool. We homeschool, and it's not like you know, they're at home doing whatever they want. No, it's a rigorous type of homeschooling that we do. You know, regular reading, regular writing, regular arithmetic, and putting a strong emphasis on the importance of education with our children, so that they understand that, you know, you got to do all that you can to bring out what God put within you, and you got to
100%.
mine it out, and that's what education is. And you see certain students, they have an affinity for certain things. There's something that stuck in my mind, man. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that there is no master in anything who is poor.
Whoa, break that down.
There is no master in anything who is poor. Now, the reason for that is because when you master your discipline, there are always those who are willing to pay you for what you know.
Wow. That just...
So when we approach education and learning, we should be approaching it from the standpoint of mastery. Like whatever I do, whatever you do, whatever will get you up in the morning and to be excited, master that. And approach it as if you have the ability to master it. And you will. And you don't have to worry about, am I going to be poor in doing this? Master it, and there are those who are going to pay you for what you know.
100%.
And now, the other thing is that he said was, we are born with the ability to master everything in creation. But all of us are created with certain inclinations. And whatever we incline to, we're more likely to master.
100%.
So you see it in the children. Certain children, they incline to music. You could just see it in them. Certain children incline to engineering. Certain children incline to mathematics, to writing, right? To literature, to history. You see all these different inclinations in children. But the way the education system set up today is forget all of that. Forget what you incline to. You're all going to walk through the exact same curriculum, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And what it does is it starts to erode the love of learning.
Wow.
From the child. It starts to erode the love of learning. You know, there are some children that are really just, they're amazing designers. And they can design fashion. We need all of these things. We need all these things, because right now the enemy designs our clothes.
Wow.
And we don't design our own clothes when we're perfectly capable of doing so. I remember in school there were certain guys that could design very well. They dressed very well, but it was almost like they were afraid to manifest their gifts, not only because of the stigma from their friends, but just the stigma or just around them to school. There's nothing that they could actually use to manifest that gift.
Yeah.
You know, you see it now. You even see the desire now. How many people do you know have the desire to start a clothing brand?
A lot of people, but they don't even know where to start.
You don't even know where to start. But that's something that could have been started when they were young. They could have been put in the sewing machine young.
Wow.
So it's like we don't have to wait for our babies. When you see that inclination in them, and you see them moving in a certain direction, put them on that path.
100%.
Put them on that path. And when they're moving on that path, they'll stay motivated to learn. They can learn business. You know, no matter what skill set they're going into, they can learn business. Mathematics is a part of everything. You know, this whole universe is set up on mathematics. They're gonna learn mathematics. They're gonna learn reading because they want to read about what it is that they're mastering. But that's that key right there.
Yes, sir. So what's like the most vital things economically we could learn?
Land ownership. You know I'm gonna say that.
Yeah. You say land ownership?
Land ownership. Land ownership. And here, and the reason why is because we're taught once we trust one another, because that trust has to be there.
Yeah.
We're to pool our resources together and go and buy land and be productive on the land. So when you're trying to set up an economic system, the one thing that everybody in your economic system is going to do is eat. They're going to eat, and they're going to eat every single day. So if you attempt to set up economics without producing your own food, it's like trying to fill up a bucket with a hole in the bucket.
Whoa.
How can your money circulate if there's something that you have to do every single day and you're not able to do it for yourself?
You're right on that.
If you can't do that thing for yourself, then in circulating, it will always go out. Not only that, every new child that is born, it widens the hole in the bucket.
Yeah.
If you can't produce your own food, it widens the hole in the bucket. So we got to plug that hole. One, land ownership, being productive on the land and producing our own food. And that allows us to automatically, the same thing that's working against us now begins to work for us, because when you're producing your own food, the dollar is circulating automatically.
Yes, sir.
Automatically. We already know you eating every day. Every day.
Yes, sir.
And every time we go to the grocery store, every time we go to a restaurant and we purchase, we know we're circulating that dollar.
Yeah,
all the way around.
But it ain't our dollar circulating for real. Now.
It's in my pocket.
For sure.
Yeah, it's in my pocket.
Yes,
but I
sir.
get what you're saying.
No,
though,
I'm
yeah.
saying not like right now, as of right now, because we not growing our own.
Oh yeah,
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
So, you know, the food stamp crisis, and a lot of people are going wild about this, going berserk about it, right?
Yeah.
So, would you speak on that? Because somebody brought it to my attention that this is going to affect more than people that rely on food stamps. This is about to affect a lot of stores, because a lot of stores rely on us to bring our food stamps to them.
Yeah. And sheesh, man. It's gonna affect everybody, whether you're on food stamps or not. And one, I want to get rid of the stigma that everybody that's on food stamps is, you know, they paint this image as if the people on food stamps are lazy, they don't want to work. Like, you got single mothers with children that work every single day, and she's working, she's grinding, she's putting in the time, but she doesn't necessarily make enough. And the food stamps supplement what she earns. You know, and she works hard. And she works hard. You know, you have people who are off to war, and their spouse is at home. And they're a soldier in the military, and they don't make enough as a soldier in the military, so their spouse has food stamps.
Absolutely.
You know, so, and for those who feel as if, okay, well, it's not going to affect me, well, the grocery store has a certain margin that it needs to make.
Okay.
And a lot of the money that's made at these grocery stores comes from people who have food stamps, you know, who have WIC, who have Link, you know, if you're in Illinois. And if they're no longer getting that money, they have to make it up somewhere. So if I'm a grocery store owner, I'm not just going to go in the negative. I'm going to raise prices. I'm going to raise prices.
Absolutely.
And if you feel as if you're not in an area where, okay, I'm in a more well-to-do, more well-off area, people in my area don't necessarily use food stamps, a lot of people with food stamps travel to better grocery stores.
Wow.
To shop at those grocery stores and use what the government gave them at those grocery stores. So don't think that because you're in a well-off area, because you shop at Whole Foods, because you shop at these more upscale grocery stores, that this isn't going to affect you. Certain stores in more well-to-do areas could close down.
Yeah.
And you just won't have access to certain grocery stores. So this is going to affect everybody. Everybody. And we shouldn't feel as if I'm okay if someone else goes without. We shouldn't feel that way. Because that goes into the whole social side of things. Food is the strongest urge that we have as a human being. It's the strongest urge, man. And we haven't felt it because there's been such an abundance of food. But if food is scarce, we're going to see that side of the human being. And that side is not pretty. You can go run down to history. History tells you that famines, they call them nation breakers.
Wow.
That's what famines are called in history books. They're called nation breakers.
Wow.
Because a shortage of food, one missed meal, 2 missed meals, 3 missed meals. At a certain point, if this person can't control their diet, they don't practice fasting, they're going to get erratic. They're going to get upset. They're going to start doing certain things to make sure that they don't miss meal number 4.
100%. Can you break down how our people have been dealing with that for years?
Oh yeah, man, shoot. You know, our people open up the refrigerator, nothing in the refrigerator, put 2 slices of bread together. You know, butter sandwiches. You know, figuring out ways to make it work. So we know how to deal with struggle.
Yeah.
We know how to deal with struggle. And we're going to make it through.
100%.
How can I say that? We've made it through worse.
100%.
We made it through worse. You open up the history books, there'll be points that's where the whole genre of food cuisine comes from. Soul food.
Wow.
Comes from us making do with what was left over, with what we had. Not only did we survive, we made a whole cuisine around it. Now I know people say, okay, you know, it's not the healthiest, but man, we made do with what we had.
Yeah.
So we made do then, and we will make do today.
Yes, sir. So you don't think people should be scared of this time?
I wouldn't say scared, because fear restricts.
Yes, sir.
Fear restricts movement. So if you're afraid and you need to get something done, you're not gonna get it done just out of fear.
100%.
So I wouldn't say be afraid, but be alert. Be alert. Be attentive, and man, get to know the people around you. Get to know the people around you, because it's gonna take unity. It's gonna take a collective to get us through, you know, what we're getting ready to go into.
Absolutely.
You know, if these things come to pass. So I wouldn't say be scared. I say be alert.
Yes, sir.
Be alert.
So you know, like the season of growing is over, correct, or coming to an end?
Coming to an end. So yeah, you see these beds. I pretty much harvested, you know, everything out of the beds. I put more compost down to refresh the beds. So I like to get the compost ready for next season at the end of the season. Okay. Because when the new season starts, I want to just be able to get into it. So I got some more cleanup to do. Last harvest of tomatoes, last harvest of beets. I got beets there. I just planted garlic in the back, but yeah, for the most part, yeah, it's done.
Oh, wow. So like, what are you doing this time? Like,
so in the past, what you would do is, in October is when you'd have like a big harvest, like you get everything out of the ground, right? Yeah. And then you begin preserving the food. So this is how you get into canning. You get in nowadays we got freeze drying. So freeze drying and storing up your food for the winter. So throughout the summer you grow as much as you can, and then you preserve it, and then your preserves is what you would eat in the winter. Wow. Okay. That's what you would eat in the winter, and that's how you would survive the winter, and that's the purpose of canned food. So this goes back to survival. The money that you have, don't buy perishable items. Don't buy perishable items. Begin creating a pantry of food, canned goods that are going to last you for years. Even if the canned good has the expiration date on it, and it's past the expiration date on it, it's the expiration date is for selling purposes. You can, as long as you can open it up and the smell and the odor isn't bad to you, like, it's still edible. Okay. It's still edible. So you can create a pantry for yourself. Absolutely. Where you start to build up canned goods. So if a moment like this happens where you're not able to get to the grocery store due to, you know, the assistance not coming, you have a pantry of goods available where you can go, you can get green beans, you can get corn, you can get different types of beans, and these different things are stored up. And that's what people would do. And they would build out pantries and they'd have pantries in their home, or they have storage cellars,
Absolutely.
you know, in the basement where they could go down and get something canned and have that for dinner.
So what would be the best, like, cost-friendly options of canned foods you would suggest people to put in their pantry?
Rice and beans.
Rice and beans?
Rice and beans.
You say you can't go wrong with it?
You can't go wrong with rice and beans. You can't go wrong with rice and beans, especially the navy bean, because the navy bean has some protein in it. It has pretty much everything that you would need to be able to survive in an event where you're not able to get to the grocery store. It has most of the things that you need. And then rice is great. You have to be careful with how you cook it because it can spike your blood sugar. So we're taught to brown our rice, and that's where you put it in a pan and you just bake it on like 350 to actually bake off the starch, and you do that for about 20 or 30 minutes. And then when you take it out, you rinse it, and you like to see all the starch come off the rice. You like to see it come off the rice, and that way when you eat it, it won't spike your blood sugar the way that it would. But those two things, they store well. They store well. If you have beans, you can get a big old bag, 50-pound bag of navy beans, or a 40-pound bag of rice, and you can store that in a cool, dry place. You don't want to let it get wet, but you can store that there, and that's something that you can have for you and your family in a day at one.
Absolutely.
You know?
So, you know, the main questions I have came to an end, right? So what's some things you want to speak on specifically that are dear to you and personal to you?
Dear and personal, I'd say, man, take the time in this winter, in this season, for self-improvement.
Absolutely.
And self-development. And if you sit back and just sit with yourself for a little while, we all know what we need to work on. You know, we don't have to go online and look at another YouTube video to get ideas of what we want to work on. Like, we personally know what we need to work on. And that thing that comes to mind when you think about bettering yourself, that first thing that comes to mind, do that.
Absolutely.
Do that and start taking those steps to do that. And at a certain point when you start moving, if you can find an opportunity to find like-minded people, because if you can find like-minded people that are moving on the same frequency that you're moving on, you'll move a whole lot faster.
Wow.
You move a whole lot faster. Somebody that is looking out for your well-being, you know, willing to hold you accountable, but in a loving way. You know, accountable in a loving way, because they just genuinely want to see you win. That's like, that right there is life-changing. But it starts with deciding personally that you want to be better and working towards that, and then God will send you individuals. You'll find each other because you're thinking on the same frequency. You find each other and you connect, and you can grow from there. But that's the main thing, self-improvement. Self-improvement.
So what made that come to the mind first?
That's the basis of it all. That's the basis of it all. And that's the one thing, I wouldn't say the one thing, there's many things, but that's a big thing that the enemy doesn't want us to focus on.
Absolutely.
See, if I focus all my energy and my attention on you, and I think that you're the source of all my problems, and if you just went away or if you just did better, I'd be in a better condition, you're dependent upon the enemy to make a better way for you or for me. I'm waiting on the enemy to make a better way for me, and the enemy's not going to do that.
Absolutely.
So the minister said, if we stop thinking about the enemy all day and night, he would cease to exist. So we giving him our energy instead of focusing on self-improvement and doing better ourselves.
Absolutely.
And if we focus on the betterment of ourselves, we'll get the betterment of our community. And we'll force, you know, Satan, enemy, away from our community and what he's doing. So that's what made it come to mind.
Wow, you broke that down beautifully, bro.
Praise be to Allah.
And I feel like that kind of answered every question about why we need to learn this right here, right now.
Yeah, this is what gives us the ability to be free as a people. All systems of government that you look at depend upon the ownership of land.
100%.
You gotta have the ownership of land, and you have to be productive on the land. Have to be productive on the land. And when you can feed, clothe, and shelter yourself, and you're doing it in a righteous manner, God's on your side, nothing can stop you.
Yes, indeed. So where can they find you at if they want to learn more, be more educated, and start this process?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram, Malik_Nkatha. The other thing I would recommend is to connect with organizations that are set up to grow, that are set up to teach you how to grow, I should say. Because every farm isn't necessarily set up to take on apprentices or take on interns. Like, they may be in production season, they really got to go all the way in. They may not have the time to slow down and teach. But the Urban Growers Collective, if you're in the Chicagoland area, I recommend it. Growing Home is another one. Highly recommend. Look it up. They have classes that you can go in, volunteer, and begin to learn and just get involved in the community as a whole. And as long as you come with the spirit to learn, be okay with making mistakes, show up, you'll learn it. 100%. This right here, this isn't anything that any human being does not have the ability to do. God gives everything in nature the ability to feed itself. Everything. So it's either whether you've been taught how to do it or you haven't. So you have the ability to learn it if this is something that you want to do. 100%.
You say 100%.
100%.
Yes, sir.
100%. If he'll teach a worm how to get his food, and teach a bird how to get his food, and a raccoon how to get his food, he'll teach you how to get your food.
100%. You ain't lied on that. So these are my last two questions. What's something you would say to yourself if you're having a bad moment, and then what's something you would say to yourself if you're having a good moment?
Something to say to myself if I'm having a bad moment. If I'm having a bad moment, it's a deep one. If I'm having a bad moment, I know it's because of the way I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
It's 100% due to the thoughts that I'm thinking. So when I'm in a bad moment, I first figure out, why am I having this bad thought? And when I realize I'm having this bad thought, I replace that thought with a better thought.
100%.
And then you think on that better thought, and that begins to raise the mood and the thinking. Because being in a bad mood, unless it inspires you to action to solve that problem, is really no help. It's really no help. So the goal is to get into a different attitude or way of thinking. And then once you're in that different attitude or way of thinking, then I can begin to move forward to solve my problem. Now, if I'm in a great mood and I'm feeling good, I'm continuing to think on the thought. Because it's like, I want to maintain this. I want to stay here. You know, or I want to, if somebody else is in a bad mood and they're around, like, you know, I can share a word with you to help you feel how I'm feeling.
100%.
So when I'm in a good mood, it's like I want to keep it consistent. Stay right there. Let the energy flow. Share it, you know, with the family, with people that I run into, and just keep that energy rolling. And don't let anything derail it. You know, that's the goal. Don't let anything derail it. If I get a negative interaction, continue thinking a good thought.
Absolutely.
You know, think that good thought.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, family. I just want to add that because, you know, people are going through a lot in these times and through the world, and I just want to give them some inspiration, you know?
Yeah. And the main thing is, it's in God's hands. It's in God's hands. 100%. You know? And he loves us.
Absolutely.
He loves us, you know, as a people. He knows what we've been through. He knows we've been through a lot. He knows, you know, what has been poured and dumped on us. The fact that we're still here is proof that God loves us. Because any other people going through what we've gone through would not be here. The fact that we're still here is proof that God loves us. He's got us.
Absolutely.
He's got us.
Yes, sir. So who you shooting with, family?
With the eye of the trenches.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Big unity, family.
Big unity. Appreciate you, brother. Always a pleasure. Hood to hood, block to block. Let's get this work.
Let's do it.
Look! This is the eye of the trenches!